hand over mental health records in the midst of her legal fight with LA County.
A federal judge here in LA says yes, Vanessa Bryant must turn over her therapy records as part of her lawsuit against LA County. She's suing, claiming she has suffered severe emotional distress and trauma after sheriff's deputies and firefighters took and shared photos of her husband's helicopter crash site. She's claimed she has suffered constant fear and anxiety. LA County attorneys argued such a request for records is typical in cases claiming emotional distress. The judge did deny LA County's request for Vanessa Bryant to take a psychiatric evaluation. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And the Cleveland Guardians can stay the Guardians. When Cleveland's baseball team decided to drop the Indians name and go with Guardians, it ran into a lawsuit from a local roller derby team already called the Guardians. The two now settling the suit. Ike Ajachi, ABC News.
All right, listen up, people. Sean Avery here. If you enjoy alcohol, chances are, at some point you've been hungover, torn up, in the hurt locker. Well, here's a little secret. Goody's hangover powder relieves pain fast, helps wake you up, and it tastes good. I'm not kidding around. You got a case of ginfluenza, bourbonitis? No problem. Get Goody's hangover powder. Real medicine for real hangovers.
Goody's Hangover, aspirin and caffeine in powder form. Place on tongue and take with water. Hangover responsibly. Find it at Walmart.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Limu, I'd say it's time you learn to drive. Especially since Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. You could even save money for safe driving. Now, wings at 10 and 2, Talon on the brake. Save up to 30% for safe driving with Liberty Mutual.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Availability varies. For more information, visit libertymutual.com/right-track.
K-How News Time, 10:03.
A fire near Estes Park has burned about 20 acres near Kruger Rock. The Estes Park Emergency Communications Center says mandatory evacuations have been ordered for the area of Little Valley and Hermit Park. Voluntary evacuation is advised for the upland areas of Fish Creek Road. Alex Hessman lives there and told our partners at Fox 31 that the fire is moving east, away from his home.
We packed our bag. We're a little frazzled, but we're ready to go if things change here.
Wind gusts as high as 75 miles an hour have been reported in parts of the high country. Still no arrests in connection with the shooting at Aurora's Nome Park. 6 students from the nearby Aurora Central High School were wounded yesterday afternoon. All 6 suffered non-life-threatening injuries. A group of Metro Denver health authorities is asking Governor Polis to issue a statewide mask mandate requiring masks in all indoor public spaces for Coloradans 2 years old and older. They also want the governor to require proof of vaccination in high-risk areas like restaurants, bars, and gyms. The coalition includes health departments in the cities of Denver, Broomfield, and the counties of Boulder and Jefferson. That's the latest. I'm Chuck Clark.
Now.
So basically, it all goes away. You smell nothing, taste nothing. Nothing. And then almost as that gland or whatever it is starts working again, then it's distortion. Nothing tastes like it should. She said that was the worst. And then as that gets a little better, she got into this chemical stage where any smell would smell like a horrible chemical to her.
What's crazy is that we've got like 2,000 odor receptors, and that really is what gives you the flavor. So you can only, there's like 5 taste receptors. So salt, sour, bitter, sweet.
The rest is all smell.
The rest is all smell, right? So like when you get a cold or a flu, part of the reason why the appetite decreases is because it tastes good. And so that bouquet on a bottle of red wine has a lot to do with how that tastes. And it's not uncommon for the odor receptors to get cross-tangled. You get people that all they can smell is garbage or chicken food.
The doctors told her to do this smell training, which she did for, I bet she did it for a solid 6 months. I don't think it did shit. Basically, you look at the bottle, cherry, smell cherry, and you're basically trying to train
your brain to...
Yeah, but the problem is it doesn't smell like cherry because your brain remembers what a cherry smells like. Right. Now you're smelling something that smells like a chemical, even though you know it's cherry. Who cares? I mean, it's not, you're not, basically you're trying to retrain your brain. Okay, this chemical is a cherry. This chemical is a peach. This chemical is a steak. Well, it all smelled the same to her. It didn't matter what it was. So it's like, what the hell are they trying? What is this relearning?
but it is slowly getting better.
Yeah, it's a lot better now. It's a lot. I'd say she's 90. There's still a few things like she used to eat yogurt every day. I mean, that was her breakfast. Basically, was a cup of Greek yogurt, and she still cannot eat yogurt. Yogurt tastes. It's funny. It was one of her favorite foods. She just till this day will not eat yogurt. Tries it like once every couple weeks, and it just leaves a horrible taste. But coffee's okay now. It's not. I bet she'd say 8%.
Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show. What's going on in your life? We're here to help you solve problems, to answer questions, and to take complaints. What's going on in the world today? Well, we have a lot going on. We have the jury deliberating the fate of Kyle Rittenhouse, who was accused of murder when he took a gun to Black Lives Matter rallies in Wisconsin and was chased by a crowd and then shot 2 people. I believe he killed 2 people and injured another.
I'd argue he was attacked by a crowd.
Well, in any case, they're deliberating that right now, and that'll be interesting. We also have, for the first time ever, more business moving out of California than moving into California, and more people moving out of California than moving into California. And the businesses closing up, retail, are saying it's because they can't exist with the shoplifting. They just cannot do it because shoplifting is basically free. You can steal up to $1,000 or $900, and there are no arrests. So that they can't handle. Unfortunately, in California, the stores closing, many of them are in minority neighborhoods. And some people say they're just using the shoplifting as an excuse. And it's really just another form of redlining.
You know, in most businesses, I mean, if you're making money somewhere, it's a no-brainer. You stay there. I mean, if you're losing money, you close it.
Yeah, so there's a debate going on as to why these businesses are really closing. But, I mean, how do you stay open if someone can take a shopping cart and basically help themselves every single day to anything they want and you can't do anything about it? But, I mean, what could you do? If you had a store where people could come in and take anything they want, what would you do?
I'd close it.
Wow.
Move it.
So that's what's going on. And in Colorado and around the country, COVID seems to be spiking again in many places. And it doesn't seem to matter what the percentage of vaccinations are. People with vaccinations are getting sick, but maybe not as sick, if you believe the statistics. One problem we have with statistics, and I find this unfortunate, is that we have come to not trust statistics. We've come not to trust experts.
Or polling.
If you think about it, now, by the way, China has closed off themselves to the world and have been closed off for a while, and they accuse the world of being reckless and now accuse the world of perpetuating COVID. Everyone knows it started there, and according to Chinese stats, only 4,000 people in all of China have died. So they say, we don't want you bringing your death here, so their country's closed down. In any case, it's a weird time because while people are suffering supply shortages and employee shortages and prices are rising, people are still buying and people seem to be making money still. So there's a lot of conflict in the economy. You have a great stock market, and you have people, though, unsure. So it's weird. Would you say the economy's doing great? It kind of is, but at the same time, there's inflation. So it's a weird time. And everyone wants to put a political label on everything instead of just saying what's going on. So if you have any observations, give us a call. What we try to do is simply make your life brighter by solving your problems, answering your questions, taking your complaints. Today, we have Jamie Baumgarten with us, Dr. Baumgarten, a PhD. He is with Panacea Life Sciences to talk a little bit about CBD. They have some really good formulations I love talking about from time to time. And if you're looking for gift ideas, they have some good ones. 303-713-TALK is our number, 713-8255. Travis, what's going on with Home Depot, Travis? What's happening?
Hey. So back in September, our double oven went out, so we ordered us a new one. We got it. I had to take a day off.
Hold on. How can I ask about the double oven before you go on? Like,
sure.
How old is it?
The one that went out on us was 20 years old. It was with the house originally.
Okay, so it's not an unnatural thing that it went out. So what's going on now?
Yeah. So we ordered a new one. Took a day off of work to have it delivered. They delivered it on October 6th, and I installed it and everything. Got it turned on, and it's kind of only half working. The bottom part.
You mean the new one is only half working?
The brand new one. The bottom one gives me.
Who installed it, Travis? You did?
I installed it.
Okay.
Because they wouldn't install it.
Is it electric or is it electric?
It's electric.
Okay.
So, and it's only got 4 or 5 wires, and green to green, red to red, white to white, It's pretty straightforward. So anyway, the bottom one gives me an error code, and then the top one, half the time, it gives me an error code also. So that same day they delivered it, I called the number for Frigidaire. It's a Frigidaire oven. And they told me within 24 hours it was still on Home Depot to replace it or do whatever. So I hung up the phone with them, call Home Depot. Home Depot says, no, after we deliver it, it's Frigidaire's problem. So I spend the day going back and forth between Frigidaire and Home Depot. Neither one of them want to take responsibility.
Well, it's under warranty, right? Now, what do you mean by take responsibility?
Well, neither one of them want to own up to any kind of warranty thing on it. So it took me all day and the rest of the week to figure out which one of them is going to honor the
look, can we get to that part? Which did anyone finally take responsibility?
Well, Home Depot finally took it upon themselves to contact Frigidaire and work it out. And they sent A&E Services.
Who's they? Who's they sent?
I'm assuming it was set up by Frigidaire. Like I said, Home Depot finally decided to just contact Frigidaire directly, and they worked it out amongst themselves.
All right, so somebody sent to repair a person.
Well, yeah, so they scheduled one. They scheduled one for November 11th.
Yeah. Can we get to why you're calling?
Yes. So November 11th comes.
You're telling me the story. Nobody showed up. Have they ever shown up to fix it?
No. Nobody has shown up to fix it at all.
Okay.
And they gave me 3 different reasons of why. And now when I'm trying to get it going again, nobody will get back to me. Everybody just keeps,
why don't you just return it for a refund?
They said that somebody has to come out and service it before they'll return it.
Well, that's not true at all. I can buy anything I want from Home Depot and return it.
Well, within 30 days or whatever.
How long has it been?
Well, it was delivered on the 6th, and it's now been of October, so it's now been over a month because they were supposed to come out and fix it on the 11th.
All right, we have somebody at Home Depot I think we can call.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a simple problem. You want to return it. It's not working.
Nor can they come out and fix it.
And they can't fix it. Huh?
And nobody's coming out. Yeah, I'd like to either return or replace it, and nobody will replace it.
Yeah, I know. Listen, man, as I said, customer service has gone to hell, and we just have to expect it. I mean, listen, like I said, we're living in a dichotomy. You have people buying things like crazy, and you don't have any service. I mean, this is the new normal. I mean, people don't care. Home Depot doesn't care. Frigidaire doesn't care. I mean, it's about time we sell it like it is. Truly, people don't care.
Well,
they just don't
probably
care.
Don't have employees either.
Yeah, but that it's a whole attitude. People don't care. Yeah. It's actually a surprise to get anyone who cares. Call anybody. Test what I'm saying. Nobody cares. Everybody's angry. No one cares. That's life. I mean, I wish it was different. I don't know what made it this way, but no one cares. Now, do we still have the person at Home Depot that supposedly cares, Suze?
Yes, it's all through email, though, Tom. We don't call.
Okay, but we can talk to him, right? I mean, send it to him.
Yeah, I'm just going to need a little more information from the caller.
It seems pretty simple, Travis. You're being jerked around. But I can't help but believe, I can't help but believe you do not have a defective unit. But if you say it's very simple to install, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
But these new electronic ranges, are very, very fussy about how they get the power and the fluctuations in power. But you had an electric...
The error code says something about a fan not working or not communicating properly to the digital display thing. That's what it says.
All right. Did you have an electric oven in there before?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Travis. I think that's what we do. Now, Frigidaire, I mean, you know, it's what's to be expected nowadays. There's a high failure rate on all products, but it's hard to believe that both of those ovens do not work. And maybe because they both go through one control head. If they do, that could be it. So hold on. We're going to get you in touch with Home Depot. Now, Nancy, you have a Walmart TV issue. Is that right?
Oh, yes, I sure do.
How long ago did you buy it?
I bought it the 7th, July.
The 7th of what, Nancy?
18.
2008.
It's a 3-year contract. Yeah, it's a 3-year contract that expires December of this year.
When you buy something at Walmart, like an electronic, they'll ask you, do you want to add on, you know, the warranty?
So you bought it in 2018, right, Nancy?
That's correct, and I bought a 3-year contract.
Gotcha. Hold on a second. We'll come right back to you.
Just pay you. If it breaks, they'll send someone out. They're not going to fix the TV. Right. So they'll just either replace it or give her whatever she spent on it. So I can't imagine what the problem is. Although we had one lady call up a few weeks ago. She had a TV that was under warranty. It was an old plasma, which they really don't make anymore. But more importantly, it was 3D plasma, which no one makes anymore. And she has glasses and 3D movies and all this shit. And
I remember that
she
call.
was pretty upset.
Yeah.
I used to love my 3D. I still have a 3D plasma downstairs.
844-425-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of it. Call us at 844-425-3669. NMLS 3304. Not all loans apply. Equalizing lender rate subject to change.
One thing that is unfortunate in today's world is when you call for restoration, a company who calls themselves Restoration, 9 times out of 10, you'll get somebody who's going to lie, cheat, and rip you off. It's a sad fact of life. When it comes to fire, flood, mold, crime, unattended death, meth labs, or any kind of cleanup that you need, a lot of companies just see dollar signs, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. Some of them are simply sophisticated carpet cleaners that put up a sign and call themselves a restoration company. That is not the case with American Restoration. Now, listen, you may think, I don't care, my insurance pays, but you should care because you want it done right. Otherwise, you could be haunted with the after effects of fire, flood, mold, crime, meth, whatever. If you need help, they have all the certifications. They have years of experience. They're EPA certified. They can do asbestos. They can remediate floods in just a few hours. They can remove and remediate mold and toxic substances. 8337-AMREST, 8337-AMREST, or online, amrest247.com. Listen, I'm here at the office. I'm in my studio. I can have Rocky Mountain IV Medics come here in just a few minutes by getting on the app or getting online, and just texting them. That's all you have to do. Rocky Mountain IV Medics, you can call or text, and they'll be at your home or your business, your office. And here's the deal. You can get same-hour appointments most of the time. They are basically purveyors of this treatment, which is one of the most common treatments for trauma, dehydration, vitamin deficiencies, migraines, or other ailments. Even COVID or other things helps get you over the hump. Text them. Call them, 720-987-2155. It doesn't cost any more than an IV bar, so have them come to you. RockyMountainIVMedics.com, 720-987-2155.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
Poor Nancy. Do we have anybody at Walmart?
It was actually EPI.
That's going to refund a TV she bought in 2018.
It's a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
I think we probably should ask her a few more questions.
Diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
It expires when? December, she said?
Yeah.
Two things. Shannon wants to know if you want all your lives recorded and sent to you today.
EPI is manageable.
I'll just tell you the ones I need. Thanks.
Use the symptom checker.
Second thing is, Guy needs a water softener system and wanted your advice on it, so I just got called out and wanted.
Absolutely.
So he's holding for you.
Absolutely.
Are you paying too much for Medicare?
How much time do I have? Do I have time to get coffee, take piss, get money?
So, Bright Health
They go to the ATM.
seminar all about Medicare Advantage plans. Bright Healthcare believes
Well,
Medicare
actually, I
is
do.
simple,
Mark's here.
personal, and affordable. These free seminars will show you how to get all the coverage of original Medicare, plus extra benefits like $600 a year in rebates, comprehensive dental through Delta Care USA, a free silver sneakers membership,
Did you ever figure out that
much more.
Bill on Hyundai?
Benefits vary by plan.
From Colorado
So,
Springs?
apply for
We
a
had it on
seminar
yesterday.
near you.
I was listening to it, but I didn't.
247
The resolution,
26.
so.
Don't miss your chance to talk to the experts. Have
I just knew they wouldn't talk to
and
Mark,
get all the
so.
Medicare benefits you want.
Look at that. Bill on Hyundai.
But space is limited.
Don't even, when you're trying to get me busy.
Free Bright Healthcare
They talk
seminars
to me.
near you.
I don't even want to get into it.
Okay.
They're liars.
That's right.
Now, that's my opinion. They don't have an alarm system that's loud. They have a theft deterrent system that's loud.
This is Brent Ivinson with Ideal Home Loans. Credit card balances won't be the only thing going up in the new year. Rates will rise as well. Don't miss out on your chance to save. 303-867-7000 or online, idealhomeloans.com.
It's the most expensive time of the year.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Warm and windy for your Tuesday. We'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies with temperatures near 70 degrees. That wind sticking around all day long. On Fox 31, Pinpoint Weather Team meteorologist Kylie Burst.
Right now at Wendy's, see why everyone is raving about their brand new fries. Natural cut, skin on with a hint of sea salt and guaranteed to be hot and crispy or they'll replace them. You know, the way fries should be. Try Wendy's guaranteed hot and crispy fries today at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Free market valuations of your home. All you have to do is ask. It's based on his 27 years of experience, and he'll come out and check it out from top to bottom and give you an idea of what it will sell for. He doesn't require any payment, nor do you have to list with him. It's a public service. He wants to learn more about the market. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Listen, Nancy, I'm getting right back to you. We're researching that 3-year service plan. Hold on. Please, I will get back to you. But I want to take LJ right now because we do have an expert on to answer this. Go ahead, LJ. What are you looking for?
Yeah, we have been in a brand new home 1 year. We're in Thornton, Colorado, and our water is really hard. And I've never needed a water softener, but wanted to know if you had any feedback.
Yeah, of course I do.
I am concerned about.
Yeah.
I did read somewhere that water softeners sometimes affect the water, like if you were to drink it, that it could be bad, something with the increased sodium level. But I just wanted to get your input.
Well, let's get some honest to God. Feedback here. with someone I know and trust, okay? And we'll get Paul Dowding up with Water Pros. Now, one thing I want to say, Paul, and Paul will do a free water test, and honest to God, LJ, it's not a test to scare you. It's not a test that's going to automatically say you need this or you need that, but he does free water tests. Water Pros, I have found if you do need a softener or water for drinking, you don't find any better systems cheaper anywhere. You just don't. You just can't find them. Now, that's because he just doesn't charge what the others charge, and he has better products. But LJ, I want to address this drinking thing. Paul, I've heard this a lot, that if you get water softening in your house, it ruins your drinking water. Is that true?
No, it doesn't. It's not. It doesn't put salt in the water. There's an ion exchange process that's unique to resin-based water softeners. So water softening salt is a detergent. It's made converted to a saline solution, and during the cleaning process, the ion exchange process, the byproduct from a water softener is sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda. Now, technically, that's still a salt. But, as far as the raw sodium into the water, that just doesn't occur.
Okay, but hold on. Do you put any salt in the water, or is the salt only used to clean the filter?
Only used to clean the resin, right? So if hardness is calcium carbonate and sodium chloride is the detergent, the sodium and the carbonate are going in the water, and the calcium and the chloride will go down the drain. So basically, sodium bicarbonate, by definition, is baking soda. The calcium and the chloride, part of the salt, goes down the drain.
Okay.
It's technical, but long story short, you don't have salt in the water.
Okay. Now, what about just drinking water from a water softening house?
So that's something that's going to be on individual taste buds, to be very candid with you. It all depends on how hard your water is. So high water hardness, it boils down to the total dissolved solids. And so some people, it's up to their palate. Some people think, hey, it tastes great. I don't notice the difference. Others may taste a difference. And so there's ways to amend that. You can, your refrigerator filter, that's a submicron filter, will absolutely function better and make the water taste nice and cold and crisp, and people like that option. Or such as yourself, we have the 3-stage reverse osmosis to help combat that.
Right, so you could have water softening with a fountain at the kitchen for filling up water jugs.
Correct, absolutely correct.
Okay, and LJ, I hope that answers what you want.
It did. That helps a lot. At least, again, we're in the preliminary stages of kind of getting some information on getting it done, but just wanted to figure out what it looked like. So I do appreciate the information.
Sure. I want to give you Water Pro's contact information because I'm telling you, you can shop all you want, LJ, and what they're going to do is they're going to try to scare you, and they're going to try to get you to buy things. LJ, I just want to tell you firsthand, Mark and I checked out a system that a woman was putting in $8,000. $8,000 to soften her water. It was not even close, and it doesn't do the job of what Paul's system does for I think it's $18.95, Paul, your water softener for the whole house. I think it is. Isn't that right, Paul? Is it 19? How much is it?
$18.95.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, here's the number over there, and I just tell you that because I hate to see people get ripped off. Waterpros.net, 303-862-5554.
Hey, real quick, ask Paul, does he work on other, let's say you do have a different system and it's not working, does he actually maintain or fix?
Paul?
Yeah, we do. We'll come out and check existing equipment. We'll be more than happy to. We check the programming to make sure it's set properly, and so we'll be more than happy to do that. Initial basic water testing and checking out a system, I won't charge for. I'll take care of that myself.
Whoa.
Now, if it needs support, if it needs maintenance, that's a different story. But initial diagnostic, I will go out there and personally check it. We'll go over it with the customer and and make sure it's doing what it should be.
Wow. Waterpros.net, 303-862-5554. Now, hold on, Nancy. Nancy, so these Walmart extended warranties, they're pretty good about them. Are you having a problem getting someone to your home?
No, because when I talk to them, and I find I had to keep giving them the same information over and over again, the model number, the serial number. And then they said, take it to A1 Factory Service, which is in Denver on 62nd Avenue, and drop it off because they're the contractors that work with them, and they would decide whether it could be fixed or not.
Okay.
And I never heard anything back. The technician was Don who took it. My girlfriend dropped it off because I take Accessoride, and there was no way I could lug that thing
So
on
how
the bus.
long ago did you take it to factory service?
Oh, my God, May 27th.
What? And you've not heard
It's been going on
anything?
since April.
So you still don't have a TV?
Wait a minute. What
I have
you called? Have you called this factory service recently?
Yes.
And what do they say?
Well, I called him a while ago. He said he told them they can't fix it. It's unfixable.
And okay, so then did you tell Walmart that?
Well, I told the people from the warranty place.
And what did they
say? They're like, well, we have to check into it. And then they keep wanting the same model number, serial number, receipt.
All right, hold on.
It.
Hold on. We'll give you the deputy dollar to cut through the mustard for you. That's what we have to do. I mean, this is How
old are you?
What?
I want to know how old she is.
Oh, why?
Because I just want to know.
Nancy, how old are you? Just out of curiosity.
75.
So have you not had a TV since?
Since January.
Oh, my God. How big is that TV that's missing?
It's a 39-inch.
You know what? I've got about 4 of them in my basement. While we're working on this, I'm going to get her a TV so at least she can watch something. So
yeah, hold on. We'll get
your info.
Yeah, Deputy Dollar, let's take this and help this woman out.
Fuck, I got so many of them. I'm like to the point where I'm going to start throwing them out.
I got a TV laying on the spare bed in the spare bedroom. I got a TV leaning against the wall in the basement floor.
You know, I got some that are 65 inches in my basement I don't use. Really? Really? That 3D plasma one is one of them.
Oh, my goodness.
We just took a 55-inch out of the office in my basement, too, and that's a smart TV. Maybe I'll put that one in her house.
What office did we take it out of?
Right in here. Remember, we had 4 of those big fuckers. Now we have 3. And then, the old office, how many did we have? How many did you take home?
I didn't take any from the old office.
Yeah, you did. You had a real nice one. You had a real nice one you paid for. It was like 4K, blah, blah, blah. It's somewhere you have it. You took it home for sure. It was the old monitor one you had for the old office, just like I had one. Mine's sitting in my garage. Mine was a 32-inch, but I thought you had like a... I don't remember what you bought, but you bought something nice.
Hello.
Let's talk about John Fuller, Fuller Law, free legal advice when you need it the most.
If you are in an accident and you are injured, please don't go off just ignoring it. Or don't talk to people that don't know what they're talking about. Talk to an attorney straight up. Fuller Law, John Fuller, personalinjuryco.com. He'll give you information on what you need to do and if he can handle it, what he thinks it's worth, and you don't have to pay him a dime for that. Then, if you hire him, there's no out-of-pocket either. He works on contingency. He only collects if he collects for you. John Fuller. Look for him at referralist.com, 303-597-4500, 597-4500. You hear me talk about Colorado Pain Care Sport and Spine a lot because I have been helped by Colorado Pain Care personally, and I urge you to give them a call, 303-GOT-PAIN. If you have serious chronic pain or an acute pain from an injury, you can get immediate relief. They have immediate relief. They have techniques to give you immediate relief. They have physical therapy, and they have longer other modalities that can help you. 303-GOT-PAIN. They'll work with you. ColoradoPainCare.com. The Art of Granite is in Golden. You can go out to their beautiful showroom, but first give them a call and get a price on the phone. See if you like what they're offering. They do granite, quartz, marble, counters of all kinds, including man-made. Whatever it is, they can get it to you at wholesale, and then they do the bathroom free when you have the kitchen done. They tear out and haul away free as well. Get your price, theartofgranite.com, 303-386-5919. That's 303-386-5919.
Hi, it's Pat Woodard. Do you suffer from pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet, commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs that never bring relief? Has your doctor told you to just live with the pain? At the Neuropathy Treatment Center, they combine the latest treatment methods to give you relief with no injections and no drugs. Schedule your exam and first treatment today for only $49 at neuropathytreatmentcenterofcolorado.com. Visit Neuropathy Treatment Center of Colorado in Castle Rock.
Hi, Dan Cicchini, Done Right Kitchens and Baths. Oh boy, the holidays are coming fast. And yes, I know you've been getting busier and busier, and I'm aware you might want to put off your new kitchen or bath project till later. I know that. But as it is every year, it's my job to keep all of our people busy right through the holidays into the new year. So, can we entice you to call now, order now, and install later?
This is Todd Cicchini. Okay, here's what we'll do. We'll make you a business offer. If you call now and take a look, and then decide to go ahead with your full kitchen or bath project, we'll reduce the retail price by a full 15%. But you have to understand, we'll only be doing this for a short time.
That's right, Todd. That means the folks will get a beautiful new look in their kitchen or bath at a time that works for them, and we'll keep all our people busy right through the so-called slow time of year. Perfect. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, and even replacement windows and doors. You have our word. We'll treat you right at Done Right. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
And Doug.
Limu, I'd say it's time you learn to drive, especially since Liberty Mutual customizes your car. Talon on the brake.
Availability varies. For more information, visit libertymutual.com/right-track.
Order up.
All right, everybody get closer. Act like you like each other.
Hear that? That's the sound of people all over Colorado living their healthiest lives. Eating, talking, exercising, laughing, smiling, taking family photos, cheering, and experiencing joy. Everyone deserves to feel good doing the things they love. And your teeth and gums are a big part of that. If you sometimes worry that your dental issues are affecting your health and holding you back from doing all the things you care about, it's time to get a free consultation with Colorado's Clear Choice. Dr. Jovic and Dr. Mackert and their teams will evaluate your teeth and determine what options will best serve you. Today's the day to get back out there.
And it's all on camera because it's all recorded from a wrist thing from the tandem guy. So he passes out for like half a second. I mean, his eyes roll back. Wakes back up because the guy, you can't land easily when the guy's unconscious. Wakes him up. He's turning green. The guy reaches back here, grabs a barf bag right there, and pukes in the barf bag. So there's a couple more like that, but when I heard that one about sneaking in, I was like,
So he just has a weak constitution.
I guess
Or did you cut his version short?
That wasn't me jumping with them, but yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Get your calls in. We now have open lines. You can get a problem solved, get a question answered. We make referrals. We help your life and help make your life just a little easier. 303-713-8255. All right, now, let's talk. Smarty Marty, you have some follow-ups. What's going on? Oh, we had the guy in the camper husband and wife in a camper. It's a Class C, and they're parked somewhere, but they have COVID. They don't know what to do. Now, we gave them references to the monoclonal antibodies for treatment, and there's a bunch of treatment centers around, and it's free. And then we also wanted to see what we could do to get them a place to stay or whatever.
You know, we've had 2 people today email me asking me for that information again. So if really people have no idea about this,
no one was publicizing it before us. We were the first one to talk about the 50 sites free of charge for COVID treatment. And I have a number of people who can call to find out where to get that antibody treatment. It's 877-332-6585. I also have it on Show Me Trouble, which is a Instagram site I have, Show Me Trouble. Okay, so, Smarty, did you talk to Jack and his wife? Why do you think? But I mean, yeah.
This dude. And sleep it off.
Yes.
Room,
Good.
But I'm not sure they're going to get one if they're really sick with COVID, you know. He did mention needing $30 to pay something, but said he'd call back after he was set up in a hotel.
Okay. Still, though, he doesn't have his camper registered. Is that what it is?
Well, that's why he can't stay at parking lots and things like that. That's what he told me, that he let it go. I asked him, I said, did you have it registered once before? He said, yes. I said, well, then, and he told me he wishes somebody could teach him how to be responsible. And that's where it was. I can't help people who, you know, who have excuses or reasons for every idea why it will not work.
All right. I don't know what else to say. Thank you, Smarty Marty. And we're going to call on that other one to help we just had. So we'll call on that TV. Did you call on that TV yet? Are you going to? Yes, yes, no. We don't have to belabor it, but...
No, I called Nancy right back after she hung up from the show, and I got her voicemail.
Oh.
I just said, give me a call.
Yeah, Nancy, we want to talk to you about that so we can help you. 303-713-TALK. Dr. Baumgarten is with Panacea Life Sciences, and you have some new products coming out, I noticed. So, what are some of the things that you're highlighting?
Well, right now, Tom, we've actually come out with some new dermal products or topical products.
Yeah, now what are they for?
So they're more beauty-oriented in terms of trying to decrease wrinkles, increase the healthy texture of the skin, normalize oil content. There are clinical trials actually taking a look at the formulations that we're looking at to actually decrease acne, especially like in teenagers.
Do you have an actual acne formulation yet?
Not yet. That's still in development. We're hoping to get that out in January.
But you have an eye serum.
Eye serum.
How's it working?
Don't I look good?
Do you use it? No, but so there's a beauty line of cosmetics with CBD in it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is it about CBD and not just the other ingredients in it?
So as we've talked about numerous times, CBD is an anti-inflammatory, right?
Okay.
And so the receptors that interact in your body with CBD are present in every single skin cell type, keratinocytes, nerve sites, astrocytes, so on and so forth. And what this actually does, it decreases the inflammation in the skin. It normalizes the sebaceous glands that produce the oil for like oily skin. So when you think about bags under your eyes,
it helps.
It helps. Absolutely.
Oh, that's really cool. And you have pet stuff coming up. We'll talk about that coming up. Meanwhile, our number is 303-713-TALK. We got a lot going on.
Don't sit on problems.
Now, Impact Traffic. From the DuckDuckGo Traffic Center. This report is sponsored by your local Ford store.
Slow traffic on southbound I-25 from around 38th Avenue on down to Spear. It looks like we do have some road construction in the area. Also construction along C-470. The right lane is closed eastbound between Ken Carroll and Kipling. Use some extra caution through there and do expect some slower traffic working your way eastbound. The rest of C-470 in good shape. Fox 31 point weather, warm and dry, a high of 71 today. Tonight's low 46, and then a big cool down for tomorrow with a high only reaching 40 and a 20% chance for snow. Currently it's 62. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris.
Renewing his license.
Being holiday ready with Ford means you get great deals on America's best-selling brand of cars, versatile all-wheel drive SUVs, or built Ford tough trucks. The season is here, along with the best deals of the year. Built Ford proud, priced to sell, and only at your local Ford store.
Right about now, getting a guaranteed investment is
very important. And Become the Banker is just that, a guaranteed investment. What it involves is having a cash account with life insurance. The government allows you to have this where you can stash extra money beyond the premium into this account. And it loads up the life insurance policy and it grows tax-free if you follow Become the Banker. It is a brilliant strategy for saving money for retirement and for using money for student loans, for cars, for things during your life, paying yourself back and having that money available tax-free in retirement. BecomeTheBanker.org. Find out more, 303-779-6600. TheArtofGranite.com is the website. You'll find the Art of Granite and all of the countertop materials, basically all of them. They supply at wholesale prices to the public. And then they'll install and do it all for a unique proposition. First of all, the tear out and haul away, they don't put into the price. That's free. The bathroom's free when you do the kitchen. So call for your price on the phone, theartofgranite.com, 303-386-5919.
I want to see if you can remember this number in the next 30 seconds. 720-434-3406. See if you can remember it. 720-434-3406. 720-434-3406. Now I'm going to tell you what it is. That's Master Router's plumbing number. Here's the deal. They will give you a free estimate on any plumbing need in the Denver metro area. No trip charge, just a free estimate. And by the way, they got the best pricing out there. Great plumbers on the referral list over 15 years. Great service. Now, what's that number? 720-434-3406.
Are you curious when you should take Social Security? This is Kurt.
Visit my website now for your free Social Security analysis at kurtcambier.com. That's Kurt with a K.
Fuck, their website's all fucked up. Look at this, Talib.
Kurt with a K.
Whose site is that?
Master Router, domain configuration pending. Master Router Plumbing, Krista, site 123. What the fuck does that mean? This domain requires configuration. If you are the owner, visit the domains mykrista and click the Get Cloudflare.
Whoever's hosting and managing, they were on Get Cloudflare. That's
what it says.
Then Krista's got them screwed up.
I texted them. It's a weird domain, too. It's masterrouter.plumbing. I wonder if it's got something to do with that weird subdomain.
It could.
Or it's not a subdomain, that weird.
That's the top level.
Top level. McDonald's CEO apologizes for racist texts.
For more information on United Healthcare member services,
that stating plain truths has become verboten. What is verboten?
Forbidden in German.
Yeah.
Verboten.
Pretends like forbidden, yeah.
I'm just dealing with how he talks.
Yeah.
It's hard to see how we can address these and other social disparities. Basically, he's saying there's a lot of crime in black and Hispanic.
Political left attempts to silence truth tellers will only delay the conversations. That's true. I totally agree.
In business, 27 years with the same owner, Jay Grass. And what I like most...
It'll be great to see the numbers for black and Hispanic employment and job stuff. Trump compared to Biden. I have a feeling Biden shit's going to go way the fuck down.
Exactly what you need when you approach your insurance company. You know, in roofing, there are so many companies that come and go. Companies that even buy...
Remember when Trump got all those tax breaks at first, too? And all these big companies, I mean, Walmart, all of these Fortune 500s were giving big bonuses to the employees and all this shit, man. Kind of sharing the wealth with it. And then the Democrats want to take all those tax breaks away. It's amazing.
With the holidays approaching,
oh, listen to this one. I sent this lady, Excel Cleaning. I want to thank you so much. I contacted Excel and couldn't be happier. What nice people, so down to earth, and just the people I wanted. Thanks again.
C. diff is the type of bacteria that can take hold deep.
You know, he goes out to every new client himself to look at the job, talk about the house, what they want done, everything. That's pretty impressive, man. Saxton.
Stomach tenderness, or pain, and loss of appetite. C. diff sufferers fear food will trigger their symptoms, and they'll have to significantly change their diet. Although dietary changes won't treat a C. diff infection, switching out ingredients.
What do you think of a guy like Jack there?
Suffering from C. diff enjoys some family favorites.
The guy living with COVID just wants a place to take a shower.
Bloating, such as broccoli, onions.
I always wonder, how do you get to that part? How do you get to the point where you're living in a 1992 unregistered POS, don't have jobs,
especially when everyone's looking for work?
Everybody.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Terry, welcome to the show. Go ahead. What's going on, Terry?
Yes, Tom. Hi, this is Terry in Alaska, and I've been the gentleman that you have there from I can't remember the name of the company.
Jamie Baumgarten. He's with Panacea. He does. They do CBD products. Panacea Life.
Yeah, and Tom, there's a huge group. I used to live in Colorado. I moved up here 3 years ago. But anyway, I got a group of people that we listen to every morning.
Cool.
And they love your recommendations because what you have on your website, they're like, wow, he puts good quality stuff on there. So they bought in the product, and I'm looking into that shampoo that he's talking about, and just curious, like if there's an update, when that's going to be released, and is there anything right now that you can use until the shampoo comes out?
And what does the shampoo do?
You're talking about hair growth then, right?
Yeah. Do you have a hair growth as formulation? Does CBD help with hair growth?
Yeah, absolutely. So
really?
So remember, we talked about this last time, Tom, is that there was some confusion about whether cannabis extracts that contain THC would actually stimulate hair growth.
Right, right.
So they did a study back in July showing CBD only with no THC in it actually stimulates hair growth. THC retards hair growth.
Whoa.
Cool, huh?
So CBD without THC helps hair growth.
Yeah, so...
So is it safe to say those who smoke a lot of pot, the THC could inhibit their hair growth, and they could be bald?
Correct.
Like a bald guy with a beard.
Who are you looking at?
To leave. Anyway.
So
go ahead.
with respect to what Terry's looking for, That product is in development. To be honest, shampoo that you rinse out is probably not going to work. You want a leave-in type of
Okay, so what about, I have the oil with the eyedropper. If I work that oil into my scalp at night, would that work? Would that help? Or does that have THC in it?
You could use the broad-spectrum product that has no THC in it, and that would work in a pinch. If Terry sends his contact information to you, when we get prototypes, be happy to ship one up to Alaska.
Yeah, so Terry, leave your information. But so any kind of CBD without THC, if you can get it into your scalp, like a lotion or an oil.
Yeah, just make sure there's no THC in it, and then.
And you want it to rub deep into the scalp. You don't want to shampoo in and out.
Right. We do have a couple of lotion products. Our Transform product, Transform Free, actually would work for this too. So
yeah,
and you're looking for a product that's going to have at least 200 milligrams per ounce.
200 milligrams per ounce of THC. I mean, excuse me. Wow, that would just knock you on your ass, right? Yeah. 200 milligrams of CBD. And is that CBD, not CBG, right?
That's correct. I mean, so the jury's still out about where the CBG will have the same effects. So the study I'm referring to compared CBD to minoxidil.
And did it work as well?
It worked as good, if not better, than minoxidil.
Hey, man, that's cool, Terry. Minoxidil is really expensive anyway, and this stuff would work. Do you have any other questions?
No, I just like the fact that it works as good and it's safer, I believe. I would think that in my opinion, I think that this would be safer. So
where are you in Alaska? Where are you?
Good old Wasilla.
Now, Wasilla,
Alaska.
Okay. What took you to Alaska?
Probably the weather.
What took you to Alaska?
Yes, I'm in Fairbanks. It's a -11 right now. I had my family here, and I just there was a great opportunity. I'm in medical sales, so there was a great opportunity to get here, and I just like the freedom. I mean, it's a different world over here. You wouldn't even think there's COVID. So,
well, how is COVID? I was going to ask, how is COVID? Are people getting it?
You know what? I had it on October 12th, and my kids had it. I have a 6 and a 10-year-old, and my daughter had a small fever, and that was it. But you wouldn't even have known. And myself, I just lost my taste and smell for 2 days, and then my son never got it. He was exposed. He was right next to us. You know, they say.
But I mean, how is the state in general? I mean, they don't have mask mandates anywhere, or?
They will in hospitals, but out like restaurants and other places, Walmarts and stuff, Targets, that they don't have any mandates in place.
How about the indigenous people? Are they doing okay?
Yeah, I mean, like everybody, we've had our spikes during the flu season, but I think that some of those numbers maybe were looked at maybe differently. I think sometimes stuff pulls up.
Yeah, you're in a downward trend right now. So good. We know our Alaska friends are listening every day. We appreciate it. We'll make sure we say hi. Hello, Alaska. More coming up.
Radio advertising can connect your business with holiday shoppers wherever they go.
Yeah, it's going down now. Had a few little spikes, but I mean, we're talking. There's no people there. They already have. I'm talking about per. So I always do it per.
Michael Cabot, an agent from United Healthcare, would be happy to help you better understand your coverage options. Call Michael Cabot at 970-661-2773. Do you have pain?
Compass is killing in the magazine.
Pat wondered that if you have peripheral neuropathy, skip the drugs and injections. Visit neuropathy.
It's funny how some companies do
more than 25 years.
Why is that? Why? I want to know why. I want to know why some people do super with advertising and some people don't. Why? I mean, I do the same thing for all my clients, and some will hit it big. Others will get good results. I have a few, but some will move another way. Very few, but I have them.
Listen for your chance to win $1,000
And with my magazine, it's hit or miss. I don't know what. I don't know what makes it.
ABC News.
I analyze the ads. I analyze the
trial now in deliberation.
You do all the Google analytics.
Should be convicted of
well, it's not all online. My magazine's printed, so there's not many analytics. We have a call tracker.
ABC's Jim Ryan is there.
I think every business suffers from the same thing about trying to find that right edge, the right spot, the right time, how they jump around, whether they spend an hour chit-chatting about things there are companies that no one can control that, nailing it, right? And we've got a better message, and we've taken that message to those people.
Okay, here's a nickel, and it was heads up.
Uh-oh, there's a penny over here.
Is it heads up? Let's see. It is heads up both.
Oh, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Buy lottery tickets.
She will not be seeking re-election in 2022. This is
You still have your location at DIA?
breaking out at the
How's that one doing?
border.
It's starting to ramp up.
Oh, good.
I can't find this guy's fucking. Can they tell if you've had COVID? If you've been vaccinated, is it a different kind of antibody?
They can,
Google loses an appeal over a
yes and no.
fine.
The EU's General Court dismissed an appeal from Google
when you
over a
actually
$2.8 billion
get
fine
infected,
against the company
you're
by
getting
the
antibodies
European
that actually
Commission,
are
which
different
moved to
epitopes
sanction
or
Google in
little landmarks
2017
on the virus
after the Commission said the
compared to
company
what they're
unfairly
inoculated
favored
for.
its own
So
shopping
they can do
recommendations
things
and
for
search
you
results
if you actually
over
been
those of
inoculated.
competitors.
Is they can
Google
test for
has
the
said
exact
it made
antibodies
changes to
that
comply with
that
the
they
Commission's
vaccinated
decision.
for.
Google could
And
still
the
attempt to
isotype
appeal to
would
the
be
European
antibody.
Court of Justice. Mark Remillard,
So look at it this way. The injection of the vaccine should give you a very narrow spectrum of antibodies and isotypes. Okay. Whereas general infections can be something.
That's why you don't hear people getting it twice that have had it.
Right. Boy,
November is
very
National
rare.
Veterans and
I
Military
don't know
Families
anybody.
Month. This month and all year long,
Do you know of any
Verizon
virus that
is
is taxed
committed
twice?
to supporting veterans and their families,
Okay.
and to remember those who
they're
made the
different.
ultimate sacrifice in
I mean, the
protecting
same
their
strain.
Oh,
Ted
same strain.
Erwin, CEO of
Because
Verizon.
COVID-19 is the strain, right? It's 19.
Well, yeah, but there's 21 now. The Delta is 21.
Delta, Lambda, Beta,
19 in the alphabet.
Just remember that 2019 was the year, COVID-19 is when it came out in 2019.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Day in and day out. We are
So why does the inoculation
These heroes, Verizon
help with all the different, like we were talking about the flu before? I mean, if you get the shot for the exact strain, whatever it is, you shouldn't get it, period. But you're saying it does help against the other variants?
The flu?
Yeah, the flu shot.
Yeah,
Yes, you still get the flu, right? So why does the vaccination for COVID work on all the different strains you just mentioned?
one of the things that I'm worried about, right, is
The effectiveness.
think about think of the virus as a cotton ball. Okay? And you've got
Turn that down, Scott. You know where it
you
is?
got, and you got a blue dot,
The bottom one or the right one? It don't matter, just whichever one turns it down.
and you got a blue dot on the cotton ball. That's what they're inoculating against, that blue dot. Okay. So as long as all of the COVID or the coronavirus actually has that blue dot, regardless of the other colors you can put on that cotton ball, you're still going to be protected against that COVID infection. Okay. So one of the big worries when the Delta variant came out was,
Does it have the blue dot?
does it have a blue dot, right? So the issue with the flu virus is that it changes so rapidly.
It doesn't have the blue
It doesn't have a blue dot. I mean, that's it's like when you see those pictures of the coronavirus, they have these little red spikes. That's what they're inoculating against.
The protein.
Yeah, exactly.
So it can't attach.
Correct.
Doesn't it drive you crazy as a doctor that the administration, it was even under the Trump administration, Fauci, everybody, they didn't look at natural immunization as anything. In fact, they could care less. If you did have antibodies, they still want to mandate you go get the shot. Isn't that infuriating to you?
No, not really, because what they're talking about is herd immunity, right? So if you actually had something come through and you could get to 70-75% of everybody had either had it or been inoculated, then you've got herd immunity, and so the virus is going to eventually die down.
Which is great, but if I already had it, I go back to the same question. Why would I have to get the vaccine? I'm already immune. In fact, I'm probably better immune than most people.
What they should do is have you go in and test antibodies.
Yeah, and then call you good.
And then call you good.
But why do you think they're not doing that?
I don't know, Mark. I mean, it's just one of those things. Maybe it's just convenience to say, look, now we've got a record that you actually have been inoculated, you've been vaccinated, and we'll call it good. What they're worried about are dumbasses that say, well, I had COVID.
Well, and I agree with that. That's what I've always thought the reason is, because, I mean, I've got neighbors that have had it 3 times. So it's like, and I don't think they ever had it. They never got tested. They never were positive.
They just claimed they felt poor.
And they probably did a few times, and they just thought it was COVID for whatever reason.
Right.
So I get that. But if you go into your doctor, like I got Kaiser, I go in, they pull the blood, they send it to the lab, boom, he's got antibodies. Here's his positive test. It's on his, everything's right there. And then boom, he's good, he's done, signed off. But they don't do it.
I think one of the other things to consider here is how long does your natural immunity last versus vaccinated immunity? And they don't know that yet. So that could be the other reason why they're asking.
Well, shit, they're already saying the J&J shot, if you've had it over 2 months ago, you need to go get your booster. I can't imagine that natural immunity would
be shorter.
Too much.
Shorter than that, yeah.
Well, again, there's still things they don't know. And so I think the vaccination record is more convenience than anything else to keep records as opposed to everything else. And, you know, I think the medical community is scared bootless about this stuff. You know, in terms of...
My doctor at Kaiser just, I asked him point blank, I had it. He's looking at my medical records. Why do I need to go get this? And he just basically was towing the company line. Well, you have to. It still could protect you. And I know he's lying through his teeth.
It's convenience, and also there's money at play too.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show, the only show anywhere that attempts to solve problems on a daily basis, recovering hundreds of millions of dollars over the last 40-some years, and really trying to help you by solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. So what's on your mind today as we approach the holiday season for many? What is on your mind? Well, a few things. People are having a tough time with service for sure. For example, we have people who like are buying extended warranties, and these people to service extended warranties are few and far between. It's not just this one we heard about with Walmart, but others as well. Yeah, they have a warranty, but they can't get people to come out and look at it. Or if they drop it off, they hear nothing. Nancy had a TV she bought in 2018, 3-year service plan, plus an extension. But anyway, here's the bottom line. A1 Factory Service picked it up and is not communicating with the warranty people, so she can't get a replacement. And we're working on that. So, Nancy, if you're listening, we had our deputy call you. Call him back. And whatever is on your mind, we have Panacea Life Sciences with us today talking about CBD products, realcbdthatworks.com, I like to say, and it is Panacea Life Sciences. Now, here's the deal. They did some studies to show that that CBD can help regrow hair. It seems like every time you turn around, CBD is being used for something else, and its anti-inflammatory properties are making great eye serums and skin creams to keep faces from getting puffy, to keep your eyes from getting bags and puffiness, and also they're investigating an acne medicine that could be out soon. And then what about other things to look for? They have pet joint support right now, chewables right now. And tell me about this research center at CSU. What is that exactly?
So one of the things that that in the CBD space that is really an unknown is so it does a lot of things. Cannabinoids do a lot of things, but we really want to know exactly what they do and what doses to recommend. I think the most common thing or question that we receive is, how much should I take, right?
Right.
So one of the
what is it good for, too? We get that.
Yeah. And so we're serious about the science. And so we made, our CEO, Leslie Butterworth, made a $1.5 million contribution to Colorado State University.
Yes.
To establish a cannabinoid research center.
And
so
they did establish it?
It's, yeah. It's
up and running?
Yeah. It's fantastic.
So is it run by students?
It's run by the director of the center is Dr. Melissa Reynolds. And so she's an analytical chemist who has industrial experience and really does a great job.
So when you have a research center at a college, do the students participate?
We have students actually being trained in doing the research, yes. We also have postdoctoral graduate students that are actually looking at cannabinoids.
As part of their education?
Part of their education, yeah.
So what's the first project that you think CSU Center for Cannabinoid Research will take on?
Well, we've got about 35 projects that are in the queue, and the first two are to take a look at. Another question we get is, if I take a CBD product, will I actually test positive for THC? So that's one that we're actually taking a look at. And it sounds very simple, but it's just a matter of taking what dose of a product would you actually have to take in order to get THC positive.
Well, with non-THC, you wouldn't get any, right? Ever? Isn't that right?
Not necessarily, Tom. So even in CBD isolate, there's a very minute quantity, like 1 drop in a bathtub, okay? And so we want to make sure that if there's an airline pilot or a truck driver, that if they're taking our products, that we can show them what the clinical data looks like.
Okay, what about immunity products? Those are big. And we all know that there are certain vitamins and minerals that have supportive qualities. We know it. Okay, vitamin C has long been an immuno booster. It always has. Vitamin C. Okay, now we know that zinc. And zinc for colds, even years ago, we love zinc, right? So we know that has good antiviral properties. Then we know that D3, vitamin D, has been a miracle vitamin, right? So D, B, and zinc. Then we know that for some reason quercetin came to the fore. I don't know how or why. And then selenium, that's in Brazil nuts. So all of these things combine to make great immunoboosters. What do we know about CBD and immunoboosters?
So cannabidiol by itself is not going to boost your immune system. Okay, what it does do is selectively normalize the immune response.
What does that mean?
That means that every once in a while, when your body's actually reacting to a foreign body, it overreacts. Okay, and you can get collateral tissue damage.
Is that why some people have catastrophic COVID cases, because their immune system goes crazy? Do they call that some kind of storm?
Cytokine storm.
And what does that mean?
So again, it's a situation where your immune cells actually over-respond, and it starts attacking normal tissue as opposed to attacking the invading body. Okay.
Is that where really people get really, really sick from COVID?
Oh yeah. Back in the 90s, T. Gennaro actually brought out an anti-immune product. Killed 6 people, and that's part of the revision of the clinical trial study.
So what is this? So CBD actually regulates the immune system.
Correct.
By not letting it get too crazy.
That's right. So CBD, is an anti-inflammatory, and that's when we talk about inflammation, it's your immune system.
Well, inflammation is really the root of all evil. It is the root of all evil.
It's actually the foundation for a lot of different diseases.
Most everything, right?
So when you're talking about the immune product that we're coming out with and all of those immune ingredients, is you have certain elements that will actually strengthen the immune response. CBD is there to help normalize, but also to protect against secondary infection, as well as the aches and pains you'd have from.
How does it protect against secondary infection?
This stuff, it's the most amazing compound extract that I've ever seen. So it has antimicrobial properties. So think about it like this: when you
CBD does in and of itself.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, you'll probably be seeing this in hospitals to protect against Staph aureus MRSA.
So it actually can, in and of itself, kill microbes.
Absolutely. We don't know if it kills viruses. I want to be really clear about that.
Right.
But with specific bacterial strains, such as hard to treat with antibiotic microbes, so Staph aureus, C. difficile, different problematic gonorrhea.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah. Believe it or not. So the compound itself actually will kill these bacteria, and it does not elicit bacterial resistance, which is a huge problem when we take a look at invading organisms.
Right.
But coming back to your immune question.
Yeah.
When you think about getting the flu and secondary infection like strep throat, so your immune system gets weakened.
Or pneumonia.
And what CBD will actually do is help fight off that secondary infection. and will help with these aches and pains that actually come with a flu-like.
So your immune formula will have what in it?
It's going to have garlic.
Yeah, of course I do that
oregano
every day.
Oil,
Mhm.
vitamin D, vitamin A, vitamin B6, zinc. And I'm probably forgetting a couple of other ingredients, but it'll be like a super immune boost formula.
Why is garlic so good? I take very strong garlic pills, unscented, the oil. What is good about garlic?
Well, garlic actually stimulates immune cell production. So think about it. If you have a one-person guard at the front door, right?
Yeah.
It might be easy for someone to get through.
So garlic multiplies those?
Garlic multiplies that.
Garlic in and of itself, does it have antibacterial properties as well?
I don't think so. I have to look into it. But,
All right.
But oregano oil and garlic oil and elderberry are probably the three best natural extracts that you can use for boosting your immune system.
See, there are so many things that can be done in addition to vaccines, in addition to antibodies. I mean, really, there are. And so many people do nothing. They just do nothing. I mean, really, they do nothing. And it's amazing to me that they wonder why they get sick. It's just why? Why do you wonder?
Yeah, so coming back to the research center, the other study that we're doing is that about 10% of the population has an irritable bowel syndrome. So they eat or they get stressed and they get bad stomach aches.
Yes.
We're actually working with CSU and Arizona State University to do a clinical study on cannabidiol as well as cannabigerol ability to alleviate those symptoms. And that'll be run through the center up at CSU.
Now, pet joint support.
Yep.
That's important, especially in dogs, but also equine. Are you expanding the equine medicine at all?
We are so our priority there is to work on the canine material, which is really important.
That's the biggest segment. Dogs for sure.
And then what's interesting out of the canine studies we've done to date is that we saw that cannabidiol actually helped with anxiety in dogs as well as alleviating pain. So we had dogs that couldn't get up. And 15 minutes later, after we gave them the CBD dose, they're up running around, playing, fetching. And it's amazing.
Wow.
And then when we actually saw that study, we saw that the animals were calmer.
Yes.
Had less separation anxiety. And so we expanded that out into horses. And one of the things with horses, performance anxiety, separation anxiety, they're herd animals.
Big.
And so we're going to be working to expand that in 2022 in terms of dose formulations.
303-713-TALK. This is such incredible information. We'll be back and take all your calls right after this.
Looping back to literally, you could probably talk for a week straight on this stuff and not cover all the different aspects that we know about today. So.
So,
guys. You know,
what's really incredible is people, no matter how much they know it's wrong, will drink and drive, especially around this time of year. I'm going to give you a name, not as a license to drink and drive, but if you've done something stupid or make a mistake, or maybe you miscalculated, you need a defense attorney, Joe Lazzara. He really should be called also a negotiating attorney because it's not always defense. Sometimes you just need to get through the system. Joe Lazzara for when you're either falsely accused or maybe you've done something stupid. Joe Lazzara for any kind of case, DUI of course, and others. 303-429-6200. Flat rate pricing, free initial consultations. 303-429-6200. You can find him at referralist.com. You'll also find Kevin Calkin there for your car. Sheridan Auto Tech. Why do I say Kevin? He's the owner, and he treats everyone like family at Sheridan Auto Tech. And Sheridan Auto Tech has everything you want in a repair facility. I've said this time and time again. Honesty, experience, knowledge, convenience, and value. They do maintenance, repairs, and electrical issues. They have a whole electrical department. SheridanAutotech.com. 303-455-7242. 455-7242. Looking for an investment is easy. They're all over. But looking for a secured, guaranteed investment in writing that's been guaranteed for like 125 years, that's Become the Banker. Now, Become the Banker, the name means that you become your own banker, meaning you bank your money, it grows tax-free, and you can use it. Yes, you're allowed to borrow from it and then pay yourself back, and sheltering even more money for an eventual pot for retirement, where you borrow it and you don't pay it back, but you never pay tax. Find out more at becomethebanker.org. So many.
Can you read that?
So this Alex Jones thing is big. He is going to have to pay millions.
For what?
Families of 8 victims of Sandy Hook sued him.
What'd they sue him for?
Defamation. They were cruelly harassed by Jones, whose fans believed that the shooting was a false narrative. Now,
Isn't he that dude pushing all those?
Yeah. He lost because he did not present the discovery they wanted.
And the discovery was what, his radio show?
I don't know what they were asking for, but apparently he appealed it and lost that.
So what are you saying? Sandy Hook was a fake?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy shit.
You're allowed to have that opinion. But what he was doing, he had a megaphone. I mean, he was harassing these families.
I understand defamation.
You gotta wonder why he was doing it. You know he didn't really believe that shit. I wonder if he even has any money. How's that?
Oh, sure. He was a hack, but he was fucking raking it in with a diehard audience.
Selling fucking food in a bucket.
All kinds of stuff, Mark. You know, there is a lot to be said about nuts. Polarization. When I started out, I could have gone in so many different directions. I don't know why the fuck, I mean, and the different directions actually, the more polarized you are.
So I'm taking that. Yep. Okay. I'm also taking about 75 milligrams of total. Okay. I got a little capsule that I take. Gel that I take.
Is this jury being cloistered, or is this jury sequestered?
No, they're not. I have this drink.
So they know the.
My total is like 75. Stop taking 2 of those pills.
Well, he sure doesn't have 1, 4, or 5.
Well, let me stay in your current regimen. Let me bring in I'll bring some samples next time. It's a mixture that you drop.
He could recklessly endanger safety.
We've done.
I don't think he.
It's not going to taste.
Yeah, I said 1, 4, and 5. I mean, I don't know how any juror could come back and say that.
Before, and they're not always tasty.
Endangering safety, I don't know.
Try it. And it's the total amount of CBD you're taking that's really important to stay off the GABA and the.
Wouldn't you, if you're the jury, wouldn't you start with the lowest manslaughter?
So,
and if you can't convict them on the lowest manslaughter, that gets rid of everything else.
That would be a good point.
Wouldn't that logically be? I didn't hear the judge's instructions.
Well, they don't tell you how to deliberate. You can do anything you want. 17. The first thing they do is elect the foreman.
Real issue. I've always been my grandmother.
So it's really odd nowadays. I only know this because of Addie. She was in that school shooting as a juror.
Tom Martino here,
303-713 Talks, 713-8255. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. I say that because they are a great company. I've known them for many, many years, and they will take care of all of your garage door needs. 24/7 for emergencies. And the new systems have Wi-Fi features, time to close features, battery backup features. They'll inspect your entire door for just $80 and include all the adjustments you need. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. All of their prices on the website, OneClearChoiceDoors.com. 720-370. That's 720-370-3987. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Okay, so let's keep going here and see what we can do for you. And David, what's happening with you? Hello, David. David?
Hello. Hi, Tom.
Hi. What's going on?
Hi, Tom. My name is David B., and I'm a resident of Pueblo West.
Pueblo West. I know it well. What's going on?
Well,
isn't that out Highway 50, is it? I don't know. Which one?
Yes, out Highway 50, right off of exit 108 and 25, kind of. We're out on the range. And, Tom, my wife and I contracted One Solar back in April of 2021, the first week, to install 22 solar panels.
Okay, in April you hired them. You hired them in April 2020 or 2021?
2021.
Okay, so what's going on with it?
We heard very little from them, a lot from the finance company.
Did you ever pay?
We made one payment already because it was scheduled. We had to make a payment in order to get the exact routing and checking account number.
All right, so where does it stand right now? You haven't had anything installed?
We had August. They came and they installed their very first in-ground solar panel mount. And they broke the poles that go into the ground. They had to have welders come out and re-weld them.
Yeah, but is it there?
It's there. The solar panels are mounted. The wire is
so hold on. So you do have
just
get right to how much do you have installed total of the system?
22 panels.
Right now.
The wire. Right now, 22 panels, over 600 feet of wire, and a bunch of boxes hung on our house. That was done the first week in August.
Okay, so where do you stand? It's not activated yet?
It's not activated. They have failed 4 serious city violations. And
who says they have city violations?
The city.
Yeah, what are the violations?
The holes were not dug deep enough for the trench. The couplers that are watertight were put on upside down. There's no shutoff box back at the solar panels, and they have the wrong amperage box hanging on the wall for the solar panel.
All right. What did the city tell? Did the city then red tag it?
Yes.
All right. So now what? Where do we stand today?
We're stuck with having to make payments with the finance company because we have a contract with them. And we're paying for something that we haven't had in
Okay, what does
months.
One Solar say about fixing it?
One Solar told me that they were going to have a city inspector scheduled to come out this week to do the final inspection. And I said, how could you schedule that when the work's not even completed?
Well, what did they say?
Oh, I'll have to talk to my boss about that.
Okay. So you're dealing with morons.
Thank you. Yes, idiots. In my opinion, complete idiots.
All right. You know, we have a lot of solar complaints, bro. A lot of them.
Yeah, these people really are. Look, I survived an aortic rupture in '06. I'm a heart patient. blood pressure. I'm stressed out
Hey,
over the
bro,
max.
don't do that. Tell me, what were
I'm
you doing
trying
when you
not
had
to.
this aortic rupture? What were you doing?
Back in '06, I was a partying animal, and I worked myself to the bone. It was hereditary. Both my mother.
What were you
had
doing
an
at the
aneurysm
actual time
repair.
you had an aortic rupture?
I was at my girlfriend's house in Maryland, visiting with her and her children.
You were just visiting at the time.
Correct.
And you survived it. What did they do for you?
I was induced in a coma in the driveway of our house in Maryland, then taken to Annapolis, where CAT scan diagnosed a tear in the aorta. I was then medevaced to Baltimore. John Hopkins couldn't take me. I ended up at Union Memorial, where they performed surgery. They no sooner cut my rib cage open and my aortic valve ruptured on the table.
So do you have an artificial one in there or a pig valve?
I am fortunate that I still have my heart. They were able to clamp it and graft where it tore the aorta.
Wow.
So if he wasn't on the table when it ruptured, he's probably dead.
Wow.
Yes. 1 in 3 back in '06, statistically, one is census. 1 in 3 billion survive what I did.
Holy crap. Now, don't fret
really
over this one, bro. Don't fret.
You need to buy some lottery tickets.
Hey, David, we're gonna
Yes,
we're gonna give this to somebody to call One Solar. I mean, come on, man. One Solar.
They need to reimburse the payments when he hasn't had use of it. I mean, that's
well, he's paying down the system, right? I mean,
yeah, but the savings should probably calculate whatever's paying as well.
That's true.
I mean, he's missing the money.
I'm on a fixed income. I'm on permanent Social Security disability. My wife works her tailbone off 4 days a week at Parkview for a paycheck.
All right, hold on, David. We're going to help you, but we got to get. Where is One Solar located?
Pueblo.
They are in Colorado. They're located out of Colorado Springs, but their main headquarters is Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay. Suze, we got to give this somebody to kick some ass on it. Okay, I mean, really, we have to say, look, this guy is paying on this damn system. Let's get him to fix it before we start bitching about the refunds. Right now, let's just get him to fix it.
Hey, what's this address I see in Pueblo?
They have a small office here. They rent space here in Pueblo.
I got
Solar.
I got it.
I was the first install.
I mean, I want to kick
and
their
there's
ass, though.
3 other people. One other couple I've been in touch with are having the same problems I'm having. They were the second ones to have One Solar install a ground mount.
All right, hold
They're in
on.
the same-
Just hold on, man. Here's what we want to do. We just want to call and rattle their cage a little, all right? I mean, really, let's see what kind of a sense we get for this. But we got to call and find out what's going on. I mean, this is a pretty clear-cut case of incompetence. You're paying on a system that isn't even working. And by the way, I'll bet you that they do some kind of recourse on this loan. So if you don't pay, they have to take it back. I'll bet you. You might want to ask the lender on that. Ask the lender. Does the vendor take recourse on this in case I don't pay because it's not working and I'm not inclined to pay this? Speaking of solar, Ryan, you have a comment? Go ahead.
Hey, Tom. Just wanted to give a shout out. I don't live too far from Pueblo West. The guys that are doing my ground unit, my solar ground unit, it's not complete yet, but they've done a really good job.
How'd you find them?
It was on Facebook, actually. It was an ad. I was kind of hesitant, but, I talked to them, and I was pretty well impressed with the salesman, and it's just like one or two guys doing the work, and you know, they've run into some hiccups and whatnot, and there's, you know, it hasn't been a perfectly smooth situation, but they're, you know, you can tell they're doing the best that they can, and you know, if they break something, they
Who are
fix
you
it.
using?
It's Skyline Solar.
All right, I want to warn people, we don't know them. I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not saying they're not good, they're not bad. I'm just saying I don't know them, but he called in on his own. We have more coming up. I'm Tom Martino.
Duck, duck, go. Yep.
I thought the infrastructure plan was passed to Build Back Better. Why is Pelosi saying she's not leaving until it passes?
They want the other bill passed.
What's the other one?
The addition. So that, remember, they were trying to get three bills. That was like
Well, it's like 1.75. Oh, who knows?
They passed 1.6, right?
No, one. That's real infrastructure.
But they want like the free daycare, all the
everything
else and stuff.
3.5.
The newest one has anybody over 400,000 paying 70%.
You have a chance right now to get same-day appointments with Colorado Pain Care, Sport, and Spine. That's right, same-day appointments. If you're in pain, they want to get you out of pain, and they have immediate solutions. When I went in with my chronic pain, they did a trigger point injection, which got me immediate relief. Now, that's temporary, and they know it. But it got me into physical therapy, got me over the hump, and then they did a deeper therapy. They have other therapies. They have spinal cord stimulators. They have nerve blocks. They have all kinds of stuff. And they want to get you out of pain. Call. See if you can get in. Same day. 303-GOT-PAIN. 303-GOT-PAIN. ColoradoPainCare.com. You know, we're talking about solar, right? Well, Genesis Solar, CO.com, is a company we've known for years through Genesis Total Exteriors. Well, now Mark Schmansky also has Genesis Solar, and he can do solar on your home, and you won't have these complaints about someone not showing up or someone not finishing the work. Genesis works with a manufacturer that gives a 25-year guarantee on all components and a 25-year performance guarantee. You can call for your evaluation of solar. It takes just 20 minutes. They don't even have to visit the house. Just for calling, you get a free Yeti cup, which is a great insulated cup for the outdoors in you. 303-474-4317. It takes 20 minutes to show you what you can produce, and they guarantee it. 303-474-4317, GenesisSolarCO.com.
Hey, Tom, do you have a contact at Colorado Pain Care?
Yeah, Dr. Mogum. Dr. Robert Mogum. I have his number, yeah.
Hey, it's Mark Major over at the Martino Show.
I'd like to talk to him about it.
Yes, that would be.
Hey, we were going to bring you out a TV to use.
To give that out or sell that there.
Tomorrow,
So
like
if I
after
struck an
4
email
o'clock.
to remind you, would you? I mean,
Listen, are you going to be
Let
available?
me just share his contact.
All right, we'll bring something over between 4 and 5 tomorrow. How big was your old one? Okay, cool. I get the idea. All right, so we'll see you tomorrow. I'll call you when we're about probably a half hour out. No, Deputy Scott's going to work on that. We'll figure that out too. That might take a little bit of time. We'll get it figured out. All right. What do you have? Do you have like cable TV? What do you have? So, but the mount's still there, right? Yeah, we'll see what we'll Yeah, we'll figure that out. How about the what do you hook it up to though? Do you have like cable TV? Do you just have a regular antenna? Okay, perfect. That's what I need to know. But you do have that antenna, right? Okay, cool. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Sure.
She has an antenna?
What's that?
She has an antenna?
Yeah. HD, man. Where she lives, I bet she gets 50 channels.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Where I live, I get like 50. I actually get Colorado Springs locals.
Yeah.
And I get Denver locals.
Well, and Dish dropped NBC right now, so if you don't want Sunday Night Football, your SOL unless you get a
HD. Yeah, that's what. I didn't know that, but it's
they're $20, man.
Well, I watch it through. Our live is through YouTube, and they haven't dropped shit.
Am I sending this solar one to somebody?
Yeah, give it to Scott or Marty.
Marty?
Tell him. Tell him Mark said pull his magic on this one using that very
Because
nice.
I got an email from Marty saying Mark's an ass kicker, not me. And I'm like, what does that mean? I don't even know. He didn't even reference what it was about.
Hey, we're gonna deliver the TV tomorrow after I play racquetball with that old lady.
Because Tom was saying he wanted to kick ass on
Yeah,
these guys.
Oh, real quick, is that league racquetball or just Dan and H racquetball?
H.
So we're playing down there, so I could get in because it's gonna be cold tomorrow. I don't think I can run outside.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is going to be cold.
Oh, at least it's a little cold for me. All right, I'll tell Marty to take it.
But remember, 3.5 trillion ain't gonna cost us a dime.
No, it's true. It's true.
Kids, man.
Cost my kids.
No, it'll cost more than that. That's the other problem with it, $1 trillion. I don't think it's going anywhere, though. I don't think they'll get the Senate there at all.
I mean, that's a scary thing. It's
They probably don't even have the House votes, to be honest. But we'll see. Because it's not going to be progressive enough.
Capone wants one of your other TVs, man.
Tell them to keep one.
I think he heard you.
Keep one.
This fucking guy says the country's moving in the wrong direction thanks to Trump. What the fuck does that?
What guy said that?
How long can you keep blaming him?
What guy said that?
Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show anywhere. By the way, anywhere that does what we do. The only show. Hey, Suze, you have an email for Panacea Life Sciences? And if so, let's hear of it. And then I want to tell people about other stuff coming up that is really important. And whatever is on your mind, I'd like to hear about it. First of all, I want to make sure people do know I got some comments on that monoclonal antibody infusion. There are 50 centers around. Free treatment. Call and find out more. Or you can go online. Again, the media never emphasized this. All they were emphasizing is masking and vaccinations. But there is treatment, free. Now, I'm not saying you should do it instead of vaccination. I'm not saying anything. I am saying here are the centers that are doing free treatments.
You forget a big one they were.
877-332-6585. 877-332-6585. Yes.
6 foot.
Oh, yeah. Well, social distancing I've always liked. I mean, I have,
No,
personally.
I'm just saying, they were pushing that big time.
Yeah. I don't mind pushing that, actually. I think people have a habit of violating personal space anyway. That's my own personal stuff. Listen, I'm all for being healthy and being safe. A face mask, in my opinion, BS, but I don't care about that at all. And I don't care, and I don't want to see a mandate. I just believe I've chosen to do it. You don't have to choose
You were reading me something this morning that Fauci said about HIV or AIDS.
Now, Fauci did a lot. Fauci made a lot of progress in the country during the HIV crisis. And HIV, I'm not saying we don't have a crisis now. We have to be careful, and there is treatment for it. Wonderful treatment. Never a vaccine. But here's the deal. With Fauci, there was an interview. In fact, where did I hear the interview? an actual interview where he was saying you could get AIDS, you can literally catch HIV on surfaces and doorknobs and things like that. Did you know I mean, you look it up. He absolutely, I'm talking about sound bites. I'm not talking about a claim where Fauci is talking about catching AIDS on surfaces and how we all have to be careful. And, you know, obviously he wanted to stress, and he was correct, it wasn't a homosexual disease, but he wanted to stress it was not just through sex you could get it anywhere. And he had people scared to death. You really have to look it up. I'm actually Googling it right now. Fauci on HIV, what was it, spread or whatever, and you see, and he can he'll do it he'll say it himself. If you see, it's an amazing mistake he made back then. He had people scared to death. He is not infallible, this man, okay? And then he's the one that did the research on the puppies. Remember that. He funded that. He was one of the funders of that. And he funded all kinds of stuff that turned out to produce COVID. So like it or not, that's the truth. He may be your patron saint. He may be your hero. And fine, I'm not trying to shoot holes in your heroes. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have Panacea Life Sciences. Do you have the email, Suze?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Says, what would the doctor recommend for anxiety and joint pain? Do they have something that also helps with allergies? It has to be THC free due to my commercial driver's license. Any advice would be great.
Well, I mean, for anxiety, like a 25 milligram fast tablet would be fantastic. I mean, it will activate or decrease your anxiety in about 15 minutes. And that actually has very low levels of THC. So you'd have to take more than 4 or 5 tablets a day in order to test positive. So for THC, in terms of 15 nanograms per milliliter in urine. That should also help a little bit with the joint pain. The one thing that I can say about joint pain is that it's not an acute problem, meaning that you're going to need to take this for 4 or 5 days before you notice an effect, and you might have to take higher levels than normal. So I would start experimenting with the fast tabs. Definitely it'll help you immediately with your anxiety over the course of about a week. You should see better analgesic effects in your joints. In terms of allergies, I'd love to tell you that CBD works for everything, but in the case of allergies, I think we're out of luck. The mechanism for how CBD works does not cover the same mechanism that your body works to produce an allergic reaction. So anxiety, joint pain, yes. Allergies, no.
Let's talk to BJ. BJ, welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. What's going on?
Hi. I am going to be 79 in a couple of months, and I have been taking Panacea since April. And I love it, and I feel great. I started off with their gels, went to the cherry bombs, went to the liquid, the tincture, and then I started with the cream, the face cream. I'm starting that, and I love it, and I feel so good, and I'm so happy.
That's wonderful. It sounds like you're a paid endorsement, but you're not, right, BJ?
No, dear, not at my age.
I'm glad that you like it. Really, that's wonderful. And they make great gifts. I mean, they really do. You can do it you directly ship to them or ship to you, and then you can package it up if you want. And that's that's realcbdthatworks.com. That's Panacea Life Sciences in Golden. realcbdthatworks.com. Tom, and the promo code gets you 30% off. And again, somebody asked for that number from monoclonal antibody infusion. Here's the number where you can find out about it. It's 877-332-6585. 877-332-6585. And they also have a website, covid.infusioncenter.org. covid.infusioncenter.org. And I'm pulling up that. And it says, it brings up, it has something here that you have to read, a disclaimer. And then once you do, it shows you all the maps of infusion centers if you put in your zip code. All you have to do is put in a zip, so I'm going to do that and see how clear this is. 80, I'll put in our office here, 80237, and see what it says. All right. Man, they're all over the place, Mark. They're all over the place. You have Colorado Blood Cancer Institute, Lutheran Medical Center, Porter Adventist, Colorado Infectious Disease Associates, Colorado Department of Health, Colorado Center of Medical Excellence, National Jewish Health, National Jewish Health University, UCH, number of UCH, Denver Health, Colorado. There's all kinds. I mean, they're all over the damn place. And all you have to do is call and make an appointment on that. We have more coming up.
What was that website again? Colorado Infusion Center?
Colorado, no.
COVID.infusion.
I'm sorry. COVID.infusioncenter.org. Sorry. Oh.
So what was the final outcome on that pilot that said he tested positive? You think he was taking something else?
Oh, that was several months ago.
Yeah. Is he still ass out? Still out of his job? That pilot?
What are we talking about?
There was a pilot.
No. There was a guy that that worked for an aircraft manufacturing part company in Kansas, and he didn't lose his job. Everything's fine. He's under a scrutiny program. So, and we have offered to pay his time lost for doing the testing and all of that.
I'd like to tell you about Simply Floors, Inc., where you can buy floor coverings.
It's just like you buy them anywhere, right? Except with one big deal. You get a better price, you get a better experience, and an overall better installer. So they have committed themselves to making the entire experience better for you at simplyfloorsinc.com. You can make your own appointment by going to that website, tell them what you're interested in. Now, they're located at 52nd and Ward. They have a really nice little showroom there with all the popular floor coverings, or you can do in your home. simplyfloorsinc.com. Well, you heard Water Pros on the show, didn't you? And Paul the Waterman was saying he can service and diagnose any problem with any system free of charge and free water tests as well. But if you want to get a system softening for the whole house, it's under $2,000. Better plumbing, better laundry, better experience all the way around, and better health. And then also drinking water under $1,000. Never buy bottled water again. You will never find electronic, low-maintenance, wonderful systems like this ever at the prices that Paul offers. Waterpros.net, 303-862-5554.
Donate a Coder jacket, get a free furnace tune-up. Donate a Coder jacket, get a 100% free furnace tune-up. Do it before it gets cold out. It's from the guys at 888heating.com. Been on our referral list over 15 years. Great guys, and you're not going to beat this deal. They actually tune up the furnace for free if you donate a code. Call 888-HEATING or go to their website at 888heating.com.
Suffering from knee or back pain?
Towns Healthcare believes that your body will
Is that Fauci thing? Was that in the Washington
medications and surgery should be
Wall
used
Street
as a
Journal?
last resort.
I don't know. I heard it today on the radio.
I've been looking everywhere.
I found
one article on Wall Street Journal.
But
I don't have that.
his sound bites were up, and they were playing his sound bites. I think they might have scrubbed him by now. I'm serious. I listened, or it was yesterday I heard it. What show was I listening to that did that? It said, "You stupid morons." I mean, that's what they were calling him, and they were playing the sound bites. It was yesterday. Okay, KNUS, when I was going to meet you, Mark, right before I walked in with you. So what was playing on KNUS? It was on that show.
And affordable.
So here's
These free seminars will show you how to get all the coverage of original Medicare, plus extra benefits.
But effectively what they were doing
a year
is
rebates.
some of Fauci's statements are actually
USA,
motivated.
a free silver
For what?
politically motivated.
Of course.
So they thought that by doing a scare campaign, you would actually alert people to the dangers.
Yeah, 1 in 5 heterosexuals could be dead.
To the experts. Have your questions answered. They get all the Medicare benefits you want. There's no cost or obligation.
There's just no
space is limited.
Space.
So get info on free Bright Healthcare seminars near you.
Yep, AIDS could be spread by normal social contact.
247-526.
Tag, you're it.
That's crazy. So Fauci's been a political bitch his whole career.
Well, it could be how he actually got appointed.
Could be, yeah, exactly. Could have been how he got in the door.
He follows a narrative. Letter of the law.
So the other thing about masks, no masks, right, and some of the stuff early on with COVID piece about.
He said no masks.
Right.
Masks don't do
Fever
anything.
is the leading symptom of COVID and the flu, and the only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might be in COVID. Be sure to see
I'd be curious.
at the first sign of fever.
I will tell you, every time that we do this, that there's at least 5 people that drive by the building.
Yeah, it's got to really up for sure.
It's really cool. It's great. So they'll drive all the way from Aurora out to Golden.
Check it out.
To come in and buy stuff.
That's really cool. How are the kiosks working at the airport?
They're starting to pick up. I mean,
Are they?
That's what you're asking.
Yeah, right.
What are they, all credit cards?
No, we actually have people that man them.
Oh, it's like a coffee cart, if you will.
It's like when you walk up on the B or C concourse and you see those little,
Yep.
Okay,
Selling speakers or whatever the hell.
right. So you got a stand that has product in it. It's like it's a really good looking kiosk, and then there's a person standing there.
No, why not a vending machine?
We could do a vending machine. Have you seen our vending machines? So we actually feel like big refrigerator-sized hotel type of liquor vending machines.
What, but I'm saying, why not that in the airport? I mean, why hire someone there?
Because there's an educational component that
Oh, okay.
So people need to know what to take and how to take it.
No, you're right.
But
although a kiosk might be able to solve that.
5 years from now?
Yeah. All right, 303-713-8255. Any questions you have whatsoever? We do have lines open. 303 Martino, by the way, is the number that works all the time, whether we're on air or off air, and help@troubleshooter.com. Send us an email. We'll get back to you, and we'll talk to you, and we'll help you solve your problem, answer your complaint. All right, John, what's going on with you, man? Yeah, John, what's up? Hey, John, can you get off Bluetooth? It's pretty hard to hear you. All right, get that phone situation worked out, but this looks very important. Basically, it looks like he's having a problem with his home builder, and usually that's people's largest purchase. Hopefully we can figure that out right after this break. 303 Martino. Don't forget referrallist.com. Hang tight. We've got a couple hours coming up.
You have a kiosk at Park Meadows too? That's what I thought.
And church people.
Oh, okay.
But the weird part about the airport, and we can only do topicals there. They won't allow us to actually sell adjustables.
Why?
I don't know. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. But the situation in the airport is confusing. Okay?
Because they don't know shit.
They don't know shit. And then on top of that, it's a federal facility. Yet the city of Denver and the Denver City Council actually set the rules.
15%, but you have to understand, we'll only be doing this for a short time. That's right, Todd. That means the folks will get a beautiful new look in their kitchen or bath at a time that works for them, and we'll keep all our people busy right through the so-called slow time of year. Perfect. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, and even replacement windows and doors. You have our word. We'll treat you right at Done Right. 303-722-2295, 800-3...
I find it odd if you go from here to there, you can't bring a joint, for example. It's just really bizarre to me.
Well, so on that one, THC is still considered a Schedule 1.
Yeah, I know, and you're on an aircraft that's over the FAA, but it's still stupid.
As soon as you cross, well, so I agree with you, but as soon as you cross state lines, that's where federal law trumps state law. Yeah, right. So I have to actually, believe it or not, I don't know if you remember Panacea like 2018. Once they passed the Farm Bill, we actually bought a 100,000 pounds of hemp from Kentucky, and it got seized in Oklahoma and transit to Colorado.
That's crazy.
So,
and you already paid for it?
We already paid for it. Anyway, so I have to go to be deposed the first week of December.
Over that?
Over that. That's
even though now that it's legal?
Because we're suing the municipality to seize our material.
Oh, okay.
For monetary return.
Yeah.
Because by the time they returned it to us, it was 2 years along, and all the hemp oil had evaporated off the plant, so they basically just tested it before.
Maybe they literally sent you hay.
No. Stuff was real. We went through a lot of documentation process to make sure it was.
You think you'll win it?
Yeah.
The UK raising its terrorism warning.
As a matter of fact, I think it'd be stupid after the deposition.
So you gave them notice quick enough that you were going to sue them. You guys were on top of it.
We tried to be. Yeah. I mean, so we filed a suit back in 2018.
Yeah.
So we tried to do everything we could to satisfy them.
Usually when you sue a municipality or a state or a federal agency, you got to do it within a certain, you got to give them notice, first of all, you're going to do it within a certain amount of time. But it sounds like, yeah, if you're in depositions, I bet you guys have, how many depositions?
Just be less than.
Are you through discovery?
Yep.
I bet you guys are 200 stuck already, maybe more.
This was on my Facebook memories, and I have no idea why I posted this 15-second video, but it did make me laugh because this is when you weren't cutting your hair. He didn't cut his hair for like 8 months or 9 months, okay?
Well, I want to see that.
Are you sure? I thought my hair was longer than
Yeah,
that.
that's probably at the beginning, but yeah. That's when you weren't cutting it. I have no idea what this video is. Restaurant?
NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, sore throat, stuffy head.
I have no idea what the fuck I was doing.
So we're trying to get the full portfolio to be able to be available.
Yeah, I wish I knew what it was. It sounds exciting. Whatever it is, sounds fun.
What you got?
Maybe I'll find it.
Look at the ads on YouTube.
It's really quick.
And more than
He
that,
wasn't cutting his hair for like 8 or 9 months.
Then they go.
And I wasn't saying a fucking word to me because, you know, challenge Mark. Now I'm going to find out what this was about.
I know, I didn't think so.
Mark's asked to post on YouTube yet.
Were you trying to do a bullet?
It got way longer.
Mike Mandic guy.
It got like really big.
That doesn't look too bad.
Oh, it got bad. Let me tell you. It wasn't shaving, nothing.
How long ago was that?
2017, but I wanted to know what that video was really about. Something.
Hey, Mike, call in.
You got one of those notices from iCloud.
Just tell me call in.
This date.
Yeah, and that was actually on my Facebook. But yeah, I get that from my iPhone too. I love that.
I think it's pretty cool.
I kind of use Facebook as a journal, you know, then I kind of go, I just post my kids and bullshit like that. Yeah, I know a lot of people are.
Higher than the number of visitors through the same month last
I
year.
like my anonymity as much as I have.
The Death Wobble was 2017.
That was fucking crazy.
I'm trying to
I got
find that.
10 million hits on a video I put up.
Was that the 4?
10 million, baby.
Oh, look. Oh, this is relevant.
10 million. I had companies all over trying to buy the rights to the video within 3 days. It was crazy. And I got those hits in 4 days.
What was the video about?
This fucking dude driving in a truck. And it is like this, and it's a brand new 2017 with like 5,000 miles. It's got Death Wobble, and it's absolutely unbelievable. So I took that video, then I took a conversation he had with the Ford dealership about it. And the salesman's going, that's normal for that truck. If you wanted to go over 65 miles an hour, you should have bought our F-150, not the F-350. That's it. Listen, he's talking. Turn that down for a second, Tom. This fucking guy's talking to the sales rep that sold him the truck. And the guy's basically saying, hey, you should have bought an F-150. Those trucks aren't designed to go over 55 miles an hour.
That's crazy.
It was so all I did is I took the actual conversation he had and then put it over the video. 10 million fucking hits.
He's going to call them all. Mike, man, you call them
Fucking,
all.
I couldn't believe that sales rep said it was the dumbest thing anybody could ever say. And then Ford at the time was denying there's a death wobble, which was the biggest issue. And I mean, if that's not, you know, he was on I-25 right there.
Yeah.
So
was that a common problem, or did he just have defects in terms of like his axle?
Ford just acted like their reaction was horrible. He eventually got out of that vehicle, but it was horrible.
That's serious shit.
We had a lot of calls on the death wobble back then.
So coming back to Tom's question about how do you replicate that to get 10 million people to come to your company site?
No fucking idea. No fucking idea. No fucking idea. No idea. Basically what the big igniter was, one of our listeners in Castle Rock was part of a Ford group that had something they were bitching about, the death wobble. That got shared numerous times up to another big Ford thing.
Yeah. Let's replicate that, put a CBD wrap on it.
If you can figure out how to do it, man. That's crazy.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
I'm Tom Martino, and I thank you for being here. We are here to help solve problems, to answer questions, and to take complaints. Don't ever let people walk on your rights. You don't have to take it. So many times I hear people bitching and moaning and not knowing all they have to do is call. 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466, or 303-713-TALK when we're here, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by HarrisFamilyLaw.com. If you have any kind of issues and you're thinking about a divorce, you may want to contact Harris, and I'll tell you why. They'll talk to you on the phone, then you can make an appointment. And make an appointment for this, an early neutral assessment. Now, Harris Family Law is a great law firm, and this early neutral assessment, it's a small charge, but they go through the entire divorce procedure based on your circumstances, and they give you a prediction of basically how it's going to go from a neutral standpoint. They also do collaborative law, which means they will get together with the other side, whoever it is, and try to pledge not to file any motions at all and to talk everything out and to keep legal fees down through collaborative law. 303-515-5000. 303-515-5000. HarrisFamilyLaw.com. Let's talk. Sabrina has a question, then we'll go to our truck driver friend, John. Sabrina, what is your question for Panacea Life Sciences? In the studio today, Dr. Jamie Baumgarten. He's a PhD. And we're talking about realcbdthatworks.com. Hey, Sabrina, go ahead.
Hi, just a question. Is the CBD eye cream, is it in the stores at all?
Not yet. I mean, it effectively, we just finished it, and it's releasing this week. So if you go online, that's the best way to get a hold of it. Then we'll be able to ship it out to you.
Okay. That was my question. Thank you.
Yeah, and it can really help as far as so many different things. John, what's going on, John?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah, hi. So I'll try to make this as painless as possible here. I went under contract with a builder back in July. Come to find out, the builder, the guy that owned the construction company, was also the president of the water board for the district of that development that I was having a house built in. I guess 2 weeks after that, the state had came in, or 2 weeks after I went into contract, the state came in and told him that he was no longer, or because they were operating outside of the legal guidelines for that district, that himself and the board was disbanded, and they brought in a new emergency board members to control that district.
What?
And that no more water taps were going to be sold.
Okay, so hold on. So he happened to be on the board, and he's the home builder.
Yep, he was the president of the board.
Okay, was he
So
also?
he was
Hold on. Where was he building this house for you? Was it a custom lot?
Yes, it's their acreage lots.
Did he own Did he develop the subdivision?
Yes. Well, he worked with the guy that was developing it. The guy that he was working with ended up dying, and he took it over.
So the home builder ran the subdivision, right?
To my understanding, yes.
And was on the water board.
Yes.
Okay. So then he was kicked off the water board.
Yep.
And then after he was kicked off the water board, the water system, what happened? They won't allow any more taps for how long?
Until further notice. I guess there was an issue with the water quality. A lot of the residents were bringing it to his attention, and he was ignoring their concerns.
So did the state health department or somebody with authority shut it down?
Yes, they did. As far as from what my understanding is, it was all shut down. There's filtration systems up to the house, or up to the houses. Before that, there is no filtration system, to my understanding.
So they won't allow you to tap into the water system right now?
Yes. So
hold on. They will not allow you. Is that correct? You cannot.
No, you cannot.
Okay. So now you have a house being built with no water. What about sewage?
It's a septic tank, so that has not been put in yet.
All right, so where do we stand right now? When did you go under contract with this home builder?
We went under contract in the first week of July, and then all this happened, and I just found out about this a couple days ago. I guess 2 weeks after we went into contract, all this happened. Well, he was never able to obtain the building permits for any of the properties
Did he ever break ground on your house?
No, he's been going in there, to my understanding, after all this was said and done.
All right.
Breaking ground.
Okay, I need to know with you. With you, nothing happened.
Okay. With me, nothing's happened.
Did you ever pay anything?
So on my contract, there's a non-refundable 1% construction earnings that I paid.
How much did you pay?
$3,750.
And that's all you've paid so far?
So far.
You're lucky.
And
oh my God, are you lucky?
No, I understand. Yes. Yeah. No, I get that. But so I'm trying to find out, with this being said, because he's trying to say that he's not going to return it, but I wasn't in breach of contract.
No, he's going to return it. If you go to small claims court, you'll get it back, or you'll get a judgment. This guy might not have anything, but you'll get a judgment.
And that's kind of what I was figuring, and that's what my realtor was saying. But is there any further damages outside of that?
Well, I don't know. You tell me, bro. What do you tell me? I don't know. What do you think?
So with the market, where the market going up the way that it is, we came into this situation where it was something that we could afford. We were pretty fortunate when we came into it. Since then, we have passed up multiple houses that were within our budget, that fit our family perfect. We've outgrown the house that we're in now, and we're more or less, for a better lack of terms, we're bursting at the seams in this house.
Well, you're not in that.
On a rental contract.
Wait. I don't get what this does for your dam.
He's saying the damages that he might be able to get are because other houses they would have bought if they weren't under contract.
You would be. I mean, that is going to. You're not going to do that in small claims court. Let's put it this way. I'm going to be completely straight with you, John.
Okay.
If the guy. Okay. Let's say you could get a judgment for $200,000. The guy goes bankrupt. What do you have? Nothing. What do you think?
No.
What do you think if this guy had the wherewithal to, just to get to court, even without this guy, for you to prove consequential damages as a result of a breach of a contract, it would cost you a minimum of $100,000, a minimum, to get the lawsuit to a point where you could meet him at the courthouse steps. A minimum. Mark, do you doubt that at all? 100,000? Do you doubt it at all?
No.
A penny of it?
No.
Not a penny of it. To get experts to talk about the cost of housing, what it was, what it is, and how this guy did a flagrant, negligent engagement, and just don't worry about it, John. Get your frickin' deposit back.
Yeah, no, and that's what I was trying to do. I'm trying to give the guy the chance to just do what's right and give me my money back before I try to do anything else. But I don't want to pursue this if there isn't a case at all.
Hold on. First of all, I'm not one to tell you if there's a case or not. What I can tell you is I would never pursue it. It would be ridiculous.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's more or less, this is my first home. I'm learning a lot here.
It would cost you, the money it would cost you to do it is ridiculous.
Okay, no, and that's kind of what I figured. I figured it would be a situation where it wouldn't even be worth going after. It's just, I'm trying to get as much information as I can before I go off and do something stupid.
Okay, that's what I suggest. You go after him for your deposit. Will this guy give your deposit back for the asking? How does he justify keeping it?
Well, and that's just it. We haven't been able to get in touch with the guy yet. My realtor got in touch with his broker. She's been saying that he's been busy, constructing other houses right now.
You think the realtor would have any issue here, Tom?
What do you mean?
It sounds like he went through a realtor to get this done, and it's just a bad deal all around.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. No, my realtor came in as a third party. I hired her before we even dealt with this guy. So we ended up stumbling across this builder later on in the fact. This was about 8 months after searching for a home that we found this builder, and I just continued to use my realtor to represent me.
Okay, well, I think right now you get your deposit back. That's the very first thing I would worry about, getting your deposit back. Okay, that's the very first. That's your very first thing. Get that damn deposit back, and then worry about everything else. 303-713-TALK, and I'm going to talk to. We'll take a quick break and talk to the rest of you.
Veterans You Should Know, a podcast featuring the men and women of our armed forces. Join actor and Marine Corps veteran Rob Riggle as he speaks with fellow vets about their experiences at home and abroad. I remember thinking, what are the chances of IEDs been here so long that grass is growing on top of it? And that's exactly what happened. There was a pressure plate buried underneath where grass had grown over, and that's the one I stepped on. Listen to Veterans You Should Know on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo.
Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan is something I've been saying for years, because with Ideal, you get ideal loans. You get the length that you want. You don't have to take a 15 or 30. You get credit optimization, which means they help you tweak your credit to get the best possible pricing even after you're approved. You get low rates, of course, because they're direct mortgage lenders with an interest rate guarantee, which means if rates go down over the next 2 years, they refi you free. And you get pre-approvals, which are like cash deals. So when you go out to buy a house, all you have to have is a house with an appraisal. The money is already funded to you. IdealHomeLoans.com. All applications, processing, approval, and closing can be done on the phone or online, virtually or in person. That's up to you. 303-867-7000. At Ideal Home Loans, first they listen, then they lend. And they do it based on your best circumstances so they can help you. So get in touch with IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. Another important thing in life, in addition, of course, to a home, is your estate plan. BlakeHarrisLaw.com is there to help you. BlakeHarrisLaw.com can help you with simple estate planning or complicated estate planning and it's not complicated with Blake Harris. For example, if you want to do an offshore trust to evade all creditors and lawsuits, it's legal and it can be done with BlakeHarrisLaw.com. All you have to do is contact him, and he doesn't charge for the questions and answers, only flat rates for what he does for you. So ask your question, 833-ASK-BLAKE, 833-ASK-BLAKE.
So the guys at 888heating.com want to give back to the community. So here's what they're doing, and you can help donate too. If you have a good condition jacket or coat, men's or women's, doesn't matter. If you can donate that, they're going to do a free tune-up on your furnace. And I mean a real tune-up. They're going to go in, they're going to clean it, they're going to make sure it's in good shape, and it's 100% free if you donate a jacket or coat. It's for November only, and you have to call now to get this going. 888-HEATING is their telephone number, and 888heating.com is their website.
Looking for help with medical?
Okay, Mark, Tom, I wanted to give you a heads up on this AAA plumbing and heating call. She gets a quote from them on a sewer replacement. They quote $15,000. She says thanks. It's kind of like our patio concrete in Castle Rock. They show up the next day. She walks out. They've got her yard torn apart. She didn't even ask that. She didn't even tell them to do the job.
She didn't sign anything?
No, and so they reduced it from $15,000 down to $9,000 something. They do the job. They have to re-pour part of her driveway or something, some sort of cement, concrete. It's a really terrible roof. Like, that's the problem.
The job sucks.
Just the concrete that they had to relay after the job. I don't know that you could see rough, but no, she hasn't sent pictures. But that's going to be her complaint. Should I even have to pay them after all that happened and now my cement's really rough? And it's AAA. They used to be on the list. So we might have a contact somewhere.
Yeah, see if we can get them on. I'm shocked how they started like that.
Yeah, she said they had clay pipe exposed and everything, so she was just like, yeah, I guess do the job. And then they reduced her from $15,000 to $9,000 something for the miscommunication.
We were thinking about getting a hot tub years ago before we got one.
You know, in Castle Rock.
And I'm talking to this kid about it, who's the kid of a friend of mine.
No, Brian gave us the quote, our handyman guy, and we said, okay, thanks. The next day I come home, and it's like, why is Brian's kid jackhammering our patio?
No, but Brian didn't even know. The kid went out and rented the jackhammer and did the whole thing.
Oh, I thought Brian was like, okay, thanks. Like, yeah, okay, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Anyway, that kid ended up on a motorcycle flying off an off-ramp, dying.
Yeah. Yeah, big off-ramp too, man.
Like dropped 50 feet or something.
I was about to have a joke, but it didn't sound funny.
He flew he flew probably 100 yards in the air, man.
It wasn't funny, though.
And he died instantly. They said as soon as he hit the ground, broke his neck. He was flying too, man, speeding the whole bit. Picture like if you're on I-25 going northbound, where you get onto C-470, it's a pretty big ramp. And just imagine hitting that at 100, and you just go right over the wall, man. He went well over 100 yards in the air.
Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code SPORTS.
So I missed part of that. So he was drunk?
When you sign up.
I don't think he was. I think he was just speeding. I don't even know if there was toxicology. I don't know. I don't think he was.
It's kind of like a Henry Ruggs thing, man. 150 miles an hour on a
Corvette. Boy, did he really ruin his life, man. And
mandatory jail time.
3 lives. His, hers, and the one is gone.
And her dog burned to death, too. Can you believe that?
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Renew Home Innovations will do a beautiful bath for you, renewhomeinnovations.com. And that starts with a shower or tub or a tub shower combination. They do custom. They have most materials in stock. They've stocked up for you. These custom showers are low maintenance American standard fixtures and beautiful wall systems that resemble stone or any kind of texture you want, and they're absolutely beautiful, no maintenance, and you will love them. 303-904-2000, special pricing for seniors, special pricing for military and first responders, and special financing. 303-904-2000. Now, by the way, on some of those, I recommend more than a walk-in tub, but because those walk-in tubs are awkward. With these showers, they have no threshold. You can roll in, walk in with a walker, or of course just regular access with perimeter drains. They're beautiful. RenewHomeInnovations.com. 303-904-2000. Jerry's got a problem with AAA service plumbing or AAA plumbing and heating. What's going on, Jerry? What's happening?
Yeah, so they came out, AAA, and they gave me an estimate of $14,400. I think it was $45.
What was that for? 14 grand.
To replace the clay pipes under the driveway and under some of the road. There was 53 feet that they were going to have to replace.
53 feet of sewer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, clay pipes. So I thought about it and called them and said no, that this was just too much. I couldn't do this now. So the next week...
Who told you it needs replacing?
Well, they did.
Okay.
You know, it was clogged up, and there were a few tree branches in the...
Got it.
You know, the stuff that they brought up. So I came... the next week, I came driving up my driveway, and there they were. They had the driveway all torn up, and so the clay pipe was exposed.
Wait a minute.
Wait
a minute. Did you sign a contract with them?
No.
You signed nothing.
I canceled the appointment for them to do this.
Okay, but hold on. No, I'm not asking that. I'm asking a very simple question. Did you sign a contract?
No.
Okay, never. You never signed a contract. Then that's fine. So you didn't have to cancel anything because you never signed a contract. You never told them to start. They never gave you a price, and you never approved it. And you never made a deposit. All of that is true, right?
Right.
Okay, good.
I don't... now, just a minute, Tom. I don't think I signed a contract, but everything was canceled. They came out on their own when they weren't supposed to be doing any work and started digging up the driveway.
Do they acknowledge that? Maybe that's the way to ask the question.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
They acknowledge that you never hired them to do it.
Yeah, they acknowledge that they weren't supposed to do it. You know, that everything was canceled. You know, that I called them and said, no, we can't do this. And they said, okay, fine, we'll cancel it. Well, I came home and they were here digging up the driveway. This was miscommunication, I'm sure, on their part with somebody in their company.
I get it. So what happened now?
So, okay, so they came out and I said, well, you've already dug it up, and I'm afraid that you'll disturb the clay pipe that's here, and then I will have to go ahead and do it, you know, down the road.
So in other words, you did allow them to do it?
I did allow them once they got it dug up.
At a reduced price, Tom. They
How
went
much?
from 14 grand to what, Jerry?
To 9,000.
Okay.
So I agree. I would do that.
Yeah.
We didn't sign anything to that, but I agreed to that. So they came out. They came out the next week. They did the work, but they when they put the concrete back in the driveway, they just mixed it by hand, so it was a real dry cement and real rough. And this is just prime real estate right in the middle of the property that you see this big patch, you know, of concrete from the driveway into the road that doesn't match at all and is really rough. And so I called them on that. I said, well, this, you know, isn't right. It's
so right now the work's done. You just don't like the way it looks, the finish on top.
Right. And so I said, it's probably going to cost me a couple of thousand
So the driveway is the only issue right now, the driveway patch.
Yeah, driveway is the issue.
And why do you think the driveway patch is wrong?
She said they hand mixed it and it's extremely rough to the touch.
And how is the other?
And it's just a way, way different color.
Yeah, it's never going to be. I mean, a driveway patch is going to be a driveway patch, and it's never going to be exact. I mean, it really never will be. I don't know how to put this to you. And if it's egregiously in error, that's one thing. If it's a patch, that's another thing. I mean, if you had an expert say we could have done this and it would have looked perfect, that's different. But they reduced the price to $9,000, and what did they promise? You see, you should have had a contract that would have specified this. Many of the contracts for sewer work disclaim that. They say, listen, your driveway will not match. We're going to patch it the best way we can, and you're going to live with it. But if you didn't sign a contract, that's their bad. So you never signed a contract. Is that right?
Right.
So you can reasonably expect them to patch it, but it's never going to look like it did. It's never going to look like that. I hope you know that. It will never look like that.
I agree.
Okay.
They had come out and done work on this driveway before and put concrete in that was 100% better than this piece of concrete that they put in. So I didn't assume that I assumed that they would put in decent concrete.
I'm sorry, Jerry. You're saying AAA actually did other work for you and patched your driveway and it looked good?
Yeah.
Well, that's odd. I mean, I would say, why wouldn't they do it the same way, right?
Right. That was my concern.
So if you talked to them about this, if you called them up and said, hey, last time you patched the driveway, it looks like this. This time, it looks like this.
Exactly. I did call them. And I said, it's going to cost me probably a couple $1,000s to replace this patch.
And?
So I will. And they said, well, no, that they weren't going to replace the patch or do anything. And I said, well, I would give them $7,000 instead of the $9,000, for the work that they did. And I will have the driveway repatched.
Yeah, you don't get to do that unless they allowed you to. Did they allow you to?
No, they actually told her that they weren't going to repatch it either, though, Tom.
Right.
They don't have to unless really they don't have to unless it's egregious. I'm just telling you that. I don't know what else to tell you. They don't have to.
They've done 2 patches. One looks good. She'd be happy if they did the second one the same way.
Right. I mean, and I didn't want this work to start with.
Well, no, that's too late to go back to that one, sister. Too late.
Yeah, but you did have an expectation of what the patch would look like because they did one before, and this one looks way worse than the one they already did.
The one they already did was what? The same job?
A different job?
Huh?
A few years back.
A few years back. Mark, listen, I have to see what they did.
Yeah,
before we decide if this is egregious, I need to know. Did you talk to anybody and get a price for fixing it? Did you?
I talked to AAA and they just said they wouldn't fix it.
I'm asking you need to get an expert to look to say we can do better and here's what it would cost to do better.
Okay.
You can't just make it up. Okay? And send us a picture. I'd love to see it. 303-713-TALK.
And get that other patch.
713-8255. Get a picture of the first thing they did. Get a picture of the second thing they did. Look, I understand you have a problem. I understand that. And I don't want to make light of it. But I want to see what you're talking about.
Well, if they mixed it by hand, I can't imagine. I bet they cut out no more than like 6 inches.
To get the sewer pipe?
I don't know, just to lay the new pipe.
No, they got to get a clay pipe.
No. Why do they got to pull the clay pipe out from under the driveway? Why wouldn't you just run around it or go under it or over it? Why would you pull it out?
I would imagine I'm trying to get right back in the straight line.
So do they take the section out or take the whole?
I don't know, but I'm saying I don't know why they removed the entire old one Why not just reroute the new one? I don't know why they I just don't know.
Unless they were just replacing that one section of pipe, and then if that's the case, she's screwed because eventually those tree roots are going to get into.
So they've got ways now. Our landscaper on the referral list, they can actually run sprinkler lines and shit right under without cutting it. So I don't know why these guys couldn't.
Fiberglass windows from Gravina's Window Center of Littleton. Save 25% on Infinity windows and 20%
Yeah, they could be the size, of course. Big difference.
Gravina's Window Center of Littleton online.
Plus the material one's nice and you can pull.
Let's talk about
Cleaning your carpets the right way with Zero Res. With Zero Res, you get Zero Res. That means no sticky residue to make your carpets dirty again. They have empowered water. What the heck is that? Well, it's a super soft alkaline based water that just gets to stains and dissolves them without any soaps or emulsifiers. You really need this with also a special scrubbing technique. They do a great job. 3 room areas right now for just $119. Get them ready for the holidays. Safe and effective. Less water. Zero sticky, dirt attracting residue. Carpets dry faster and stay clean longer. Zero Res is what I use in my home. And right now you get 3 rooms at $119. Zero Res. R-E-Z. Zero Res. Denver.com. Interesting about Zero Res. It's Zero Res spelled backwards and forwards. Zero Res. Denver.com. 303-471-5150.
You know, I wish that lady we were just talking to called Master Rooter Plumbing. One, she wouldn't have had this issue whatsoever. In other words, they wouldn't come out and start the job without permission. Number 2, and this part's hard to believe, but I promise you, if you listen to the call, they went from 14 or 15,000, then they started the job with no permission and dropped it down to 9. They still made profit at $9,000. They were in a stuck position. I bet Master Rooter would have quoted her in the very beginning under 9,000. When I say Master Rooter Plumbing can save you up to 50% from the competition, I am not kidding. They own their own excavation company. They own their own equipment. They do jobs for other plumbers that pretend to do them. Master Rooter Plumbing. And by the way, the only plumbers I know that will give you a free estimate on any plumbing need in the Denver metro area. Put this number in your phone, 720-434-3406, 720-434-3406, Master Rooter Plumbing at referralist.com.
This holiday season, give your family the gift of good health. How you guys doing, Ross?
Look at this meme that Shannon made for me. That's my idea.
Is it you?
Who made that? What y'all got?
Yeah, he was doing that.
I can't even
Boy. Jan the man.
Hey, put on YouTube.
You know what you know why I was doing that, right?
Please.
Yes, so do I. What were you doing at the time of that art rupture?
I prevailed with one. I apologize.
Has never been more important. But what more can you do to add money to your
large client
How about refinancing your mortgage? It's a viable solution that may save you hundreds.
Send that to Talib to put up.
But you've got to call American Finance.
Should be at 10 million.
Yeah, but they can't hear this.
I just reposted that.
Oh, that's right.
No. If you put the video up, you hear it. Absolutely.
Oh, they hear the video?
Fuck yeah. I'll show you how to do it.
Never mind. No, I know how to put it up, but
Just
I
do
didn't
it
realize they hear it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It'll have its own little volume thing, just like.
Okay.
I reposted that to the front of a referral list, that Ford thing. I haven't done that for a while.
Possibilities, then pick up the phone and call American Financing. 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000. Or online at AmericanFinancing.net.
He's on vacation while this is going down.
Oh, yeah.
So he's gone, I'm doing the show, this all goes out over the show. I get a call from when I say the head fucking honcho, like so far above anything I know in the iHeart realm. It's unbelievable. We're talking like fucking board of directors shit. I mean, crazy shit. And someone from Ford, who's high on the fucking hill, chimed in very quick on it. So it went down on a Friday. There's easily 6 million hits by Monday. This goes down on fucking Monday. And I had a little panic session, let's just put it that way.
So the executive from Ford was threatening action if you didn't take it down?
He would, well, not action like in legal action, but probably like advertising action and shit. So, and then meantime, all these suave parties, I can't get a fucking hold of him. He's out in California with like the commissioner of baseball and shit. And I'm like, it's your fucking phone, call me back. I got like fucking 7 million hits and people I don't know who the fuck they are calling me.
I would have thought Ford would have jumped right in and said, we'll fix the issue. I mean, it saves them a lot of heartache, right?
Well, here's the deal. They tried to fix the guy's truck like 20 times. Nothing. They just kept doing it.
Really?
Yeah. There was people that said if you put aftermarket stabilizers or, you know, everybody had a way to fix it. I mean, if you go through those 54,000 comments, there's 54,000 ways to fix it.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show. We have Panacea Life Sciences with us. They have to leave in a little while here, so I want to finish up with them. We'll take any and all calls on problems, questions, and complaints. If someone lied to you, cheated you, or ripped you off, we want to talk about it. Or you may be thinking of buying something, and before you make that leap, give us a call. You never really know what you're doing unless you research it. So many people, they buy first, they do things first, then they call us after they have a problem. Let's try to prevent problems going in. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Jamie, as we talk about CBD, a lot of good products coming out. You're going to have an immunoboosting formula. You also have something you have right now already. The skin cream do you have the eye serum already? It's right. Is it ready?
So the eye serum launches next week.
Next week. Yep. Okay. And that'll be available on your website. And the eye serum is an anti-inflammatory, and it's a serum, and it helps with bags and wrinkles. And what about skin cream itself? Do you have that now?
Yes, we've got our Transform that's like a nice thick creamy formula that has 250 milligrams per ounce. It's a really nice product, but we're augmenting that with a whole body lotion. And then we've got another face cream that has slightly different properties that will help firm and actually decrease again the aging that actually happens to all of us with respect to exposure to the elements.
Now everything can be purchased on Panacea Life Sciences. .com or PanaceaLife.com or RealCBDThatWorks.com. They can Google it. It's in Golden. And what I'd like to know, the kiosks you have now, where are they?
So we've got one in Park Meadows, one at Cherry Creek Mall, and then
and is that just an interface to the website, really?
No, it's actually,
you can actually buy the product right there.
Yep, we have great salespeople. They've gone through an extensive training program. They know They probably can answer questions as good as I can with respect to what these products do.
So this is something that you actually can buy right at Cherry Creek or Park Meadows malls.
Yeah, and same thing at DIA. We've got a manned or womaned, if you will, kiosk in B concourse and C concourse. So as soon as you come up from the train, you'll see our stand there. And especially when you think about airplane travel, with how that air can actually dry out your skin. Great product to actually take with you.
That's really good to know. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255 for problems, questions, and complaints. And also, when we're talking about supplements and supplementation, have you guys ever thought about doing a daily vitamin and adding CBD and having that as a product? I think that would be a cool product. Have you ever thought of that?
Absolutely. I mean,
you have?
Yeah. I mean, Tommy, it's interesting that every time we come on the show, we talk about either on air or off air about different things we can combine CBD with. The immune product actually was born. The concept was born through this show.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not going to pay a royalty on it. But,
oh, cool. That's wonderful.
But it's talking with people about what health effects or what they're looking to try and boost their daily lifestyle with that we're trying to look to add CBD products into.
Okay. I mean, I think that's a cool thing that we can have, people give us input on products they'd like to see. Kaylee, go ahead. Kaylee, what's happening?
Yeah, Tom, I went over to the Park Meadows Panacea kiosk the other day, and I'd like to know why their products are so much more expensive at the kiosk than online.
Are they more expensive?
$2 more.
Okay.
Well, there's rental space. There's an employee. I mean, to me, that's a very obvious answer. How come a Snickers bar costs more at 7-Eleven than it does in some vending machine?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That could be it. I mean, Jamie, were you even aware of the price difference? I wasn't to begin with.
No, but I can check into it this afternoon. And, if you can send your contact information to Suzanne, we'll get you back an answer. But Mark's right. Overhead at the kiosk is going to be a little bit more. But we'll check into it and we'll get you the answer.
Yeah, I have not heard of that, but I will definitely wait to hear from Jamie on that. 303-713-TALK. Suze.
Someone's asking if you can get the Martino discount at the kiosk.
You don't have promo codes at the kiosks, right? They don't. Nope. You got the convenience of the kiosk.
Well, yeah, it's just purely the overhead. They probably couldn't have kiosks selling at those discounted rates online.
Right. They want to encourage people to buy directly. I mean, it's not that they're making more money. They're just netting the same is what they're trying to do, is probably netting the same. And if you go to a kiosk, the cost of business is a little more than if somebody directly goes to your website. I mean, I find that easy to understand, too.
Yeah, I mean, the better example is you go to 7-Eleven and a pop is $1. You go to a restaurant, it could be $4.
Well, I mean, we'll check into it. We'll get an answer. But the cool thing about those kiosks is that you've got a trained individual there that can, on the spot, inform you about what's going on and really what products are going to be best for your particular condition. And to be honest, unless you've got my cell phone number, which I don't give out, you've got really good help, and maybe that's worth a couple extra.
Yeah, you can talk about your aches and pains, and they're going to put you towards the right product. Or online, unless if you've already figured out the right product, it could be a little challenging.
Correct.
You know what, Tom? Give out Jamie's cell number.
Okay. Anyway, so Jamie, thanks for being here. I know you have to run. We'll still take questions. He can text us answers if he'll be listening. So 303-713-TALK. And, of course, we'll take calls on anything. You know, coming up with the holiday right now, I want to know what you're doing. When you find people hard to get a hold of to get to your house, do you do the fatal mistake? I'm going to tell you what that is coming up.
Now, impact traffic. From the DuckDuckGo Traffic Center.
No, this has nothing to do with you.
W-U-H-A-N. I'm sorry, one more time. W-U-H-A-N.
What are these?
Those are salves. Huh? Those are topicals. So like yes or hands. And I'll get to work on the Tom Martino senior vitamin.
That would be sick. I'm serious. I'm telling you.
We've talked about it. There are some regulatory issues that we have to pay attention to. Which are over-the-counter medications are harder to do. Insurance is getting regulatory.
Well, it makes sense. Google Rush Limbaugh's YouTube channel and check out their clip of the day.
Waterpros.net.
I love this company. I can tell you, beyond any shadow of any doubt, you will never find a better system at a lower price ever. No one can say that. If you're looking for water softening, for better water, better laundry, better skin, better health, you can get it at waterpros.net. They have low maintenance, computerized water softening systems. And by the way, water softening does not add salt to water. Waterpros.net, and they'll do free water testing. Now, if you want point-of-use drinking water, never buy bottled water again, waterpros.net, under $1,000. These are incredible. The whole house softening, under $2,000. 303-862-5554, 862-5554.
Do roller coaster stock markets make you nervous?
So, a multivitamin, honestly, I just wish someone would just do everything all in fucking one. I take immunoboosting multivitamin with CBD. What? I take one.
I can all day long.
Just a multivitamin. But I can't. I know. No, I take a multivitamin. But it doesn't have sufficient zinc.
Yeah, you're right. I take an extra zinc D, and I also take an extra C.
How much D a day?
I use 500. We're trying to get those maybe 1,000. It's a little fucker, little tiny fucker.
That's not 500. That's more something.
It's well, I mean, it's
right now with the way we're living, we need 10,000 IUs a day.
Oh, okay. Well, this I'm sure is at least
10,000. 10,000. And that doesn't mean 10,000 separate, because in your multi you'll have some. So what I do is I look at all my sources and come up with 10.
I'm looking right now.
Here in Denver, you might need 10,000, but in Colorado in general, you probably don't need as much vitamin D as you think.
5,000.
If you live in Seattle, you need 10,000.
So
mine's 5,000.
Good. No sunshine.
5,000 IU.
Yeah, I know.
But then my multivitamin
that's right.
has some.
That's right. You're probably doing well.
And
OptiZinc or zinc is, I like to do.
What's that? Dairy products. I like. What do you call it?
Like milk, creamer.
People don't like. People don't like when I talk about.
Oh, milkshake IPA.
I won't email them. I won't email them this shit.
So does that count?
That's got shit with vitamin B, vitamin alcohol.
It's got a lot of
Milkshake IPA.
No, I like. I have cream in my coffee. Outside of that, I can't fuck it up. I don't like the taste of milk. I just find it sugary and worthless.
So I lived in a fraternity in college.
I only do 60 milligrams of zinc a day.
Tell me, you did the milk challenge?
No, 2 a.m. Coming back to the bar, grabbed a carton of milk.
Oh, that was your hangover prevention.
Yes. Yeah. And it was really semi-solid. Someone had stuck it back in there. It was gone bad. So I drank about half of it. Something's wrong. Drank. Oh man, I can't do milk ever again.
I am an ice cream fanatic. I love ice cream. I can't drink a glass.
I love milk. I love cold milk with cereal, but I just don't eat it anymore.
My multi has 2,000 units of vitamin D.
But if you're out in the sun a lot, I mean, you're getting it naturally, right?
I take 5,000 plus 2.
I'm white as white, man. My legs are right.
How many different dietary supplements do you take?
If you get vitamin D, if you've got sunscreen on, do you still get the benefit of vitamin D?
Yeah, that's 3 prescriptions.
But I mean, like CoQ10,
DHEA.
That looks good on YouTube.
I take a couple garlics, little round.
It looks good on YouTube.
I do a TMG formula.
I was going to caption it with shit and put the squeak to it, which is way better than captioning it.
I would really, mine is, I didn't go to every 3 months. So I have zero guesswork.
I've already said it.
You'll tell me you did a little too much DHEA, and I'll shrink it. I have everything checked every 3 months. No one does it.
Every time we get up Tom's dinger, we should play that too.
Your historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program and pay off high rate credit cards, car loans, or other high interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right, whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
You've got 16 chances a day to win $1,000.
Oh my goodness!
Don't miss your shot to text and win the 16K a day giveaway.
Thank you so much.
Listen at 5.
Quercetin is an amazing.
Says cookie 10, right?
I take that.
Good.
I have a bottle of that.
Good.
I bought that at Costco. I said, that sounds good. I'm going to take
No, it's really good for you, Mark. It's
Here, I did. I'm not kidding.
cardiovascular.
It was actually one of the more expensive vitamins.
I've been doing supplements for so long. So I'm convinced that's
He
why.
takes that, too.
Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
Hey, I got people asking, what is the promo code? We were talking about it for Panacea
Tom
Online.
in the promo code, Tom, T-O-M, and that'll get you 30% off, Tom in the promo code. And that's when you go online, realcbdthatworks.com. And I use that to promote I love it because I made that up and gave it to him through realcbdthatworks.com. It just forwards to Panacea Life Sciences website. And it's really because panacealife.com will get you there too. In any case, talking about CBD, there is no magic, but CBD is a remarkable substance, and CBG, all a derivative of the cannabinoid plant without the THC. And I think...
Isn't it amazing how our government basically outlawed that stuff forever? I mean, if you go back to it, the reefer madness, and then the fact that CBD was outlawed for so long is absolutely amazing to me because you didn't even get the effect of what marijuana does, but it was still evil. It's crazy, man.
Man, they blew away the hemp product many, many years ago, and now Levi's wants to make jeans out of it. It's universal.
Yeah, hemp is everywhere. I don't think they're going to do away with hemp. Really, there's been such a stigma. So, what do you think? Is hemp the new industrial revolution plant?
There's so many good things that come out of it, Tom. Fiber, like we talked about.
Strong fiber, good cloth, good mature.
Ropes, things like that. The health properties, we're at the tip of the iceberg about understanding everything.
And it's good for the environment when you grow it. It doesn't leach the soil.
Well, and we're working on green cycle solutions to actually remediate different areas like we talked about last time. So we're at an explosion of what this plant can actually do for the state of Colorado. No doubt about it.
303-713-TALK. John, you have some questions before he runs quickly. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I've been listening to your stuff on CBD. I've got a lot of arthritic pain in my hands and elbows and stuff.
It's remarkable for that. It's remarkable for that stuff.
Which one of the products do you think would be the best to try first?
Okay, Jamie, it's a matter of taste. Okay, I can tell you from a pain kind of thing when I work out and all that, and I can tell you what I did. I like the fast, your chewables. You take one or two of those, and it'll knock out pain quickly. But I find the gel caps, since Talib took some of those, I find they last longer. So I use the gels.
Okay.
Now, Jamie, you shook your head yes. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, so the fast tablets hit you in about 15 minutes. They last about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. The soft gels are going to take longer to have effect, but they're going to last longer. So they'll take about an hour before you get the CBD in your system, and then it takes about then it'll last for about 6 hours. The other thing I would add there, Tom, is that for sore hands, I would use the Soothe salve.
The cream?
And rub it into the hands, right? And especially we're coming up with the ultra-powerful Soothe 1000. That has 1,000 milligrams of CBD per minute.
Go on the website and look around and just put Tom in the promo code to save. If you have any more questions, call us. It's realcbdthatworks.com. Thanks, Jamie, for being here. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Get your calls in, problems, questions, complaints, 303-713-TALK.
As always, Doc, I love to see you coming.
Yeah. Well, we're working on new, better products. I mean, believe it or not, the conversations we have here is registered, and we're actually working to incorporate those. So.
Gentlemen, I'll see you next month, I believe.
Good seeing you, man.
And if there's, do I owe anybody samples for things?
I'm ahead right now.
Well, so that's the stuff I was talking about for the sore hands. So, Tom, thanks.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
Scott, right?
Yep.
Now I've got to put on my professional cap and
You can get right out, you know.
yeah. Thanks, guys. See you
Later.
next
See ya. A part of your life. You didn't know I used to professionally sing, did you, bro? Damn it. And play basketball.
Oh, can you check your email?
My email?
Yeah. I sent you the photos of the cement patch. Okay, so this is the first patch from a few years ago. This is what it looks like now.
It's the first day of jury deliberations in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. The 18-year-old is accused of shooting 3 people.
Well, this looks more like everything else.
Yeah, I know.
There's another photo.
No. This will fade into color, too. I'm talking about the texture.
Yeah, it's gonna lighten up.
I mean, look at our driveway where we had everything for it. It's 2 different colors.
It's gonna lighten up a little bit, but that does look definitely different.
I emailed it to you too, Julie.
At specific moments. In Georgia, the trial of the 3 white men accused of the fatal shooting of Ahmaud Arbery.
I mean, it'll lighten up.
Black man was
Should I get it back on?
President Biden
Or what did you guys want?
Yeah, if we don't have anything up
signed into law yesterday. On Capitol Hill, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is fielding questions from the Senate Judiciary Committee on the influx of migrants at the border. He's facing criticism by Republicans for the Biden administration's immigration policies.
It's just raspberry iced tea, I know.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it says Crystal Light.
It's that Kool-Aid from Costco.
It's the Kool-Aid that'll kill you.
It's got chunks of metal in it.
One of its own satellites and creating a vast debris field. Some of that debris coming close to the International Space Station. Astronauts on board are safe. New York's Ethics Board revokes approval for former Governor Andrew Cuomo's book deal. In a 12-to-1 vote, the state's Joint Commission on Public Ethics rescinded last year's approval for then Governor Cuomo to write a book.
Tom, do you want to see that photo?
How the
Because I'm
mighty
putting it
have
back on.
fallen.
I just want to clarify with
Everybody
what you're
loved
looking
fucking
at.
Cuomo. Oh, Cuomo, he's the best guy. He's president.
The first patch.
They don't care when Dems play grab ass. They give a fuck, man.
Huh? Mark, look at the patch. I mean,
He did.
It's a big, it's a broom finish. It's just a big.
And it'll fade into that color after a while.
Well, it's not a, God almighty, it's not worth a couple
Can you
thousand
sand it?
fucking
Can you sand
dollars.
cement down and
Look
make
at the rest
it
of her
smoother?
fucking, the rest of her concrete is shit anyway.
Really, what they should do is pay to go over the entire top of the entire driveway.
Yeah. Except for that stuff I've heard just don't last.
She lost her negotiating power when she agreed on the $9,000. She had every bit of negotiating power. She could have had the whole fucking driveway redone at that point. No, I don't want your fucking sewer line.
No.
I want my driveway.
And I want it back like it was.
She fucking blew it.
I want it back like it was. Yeah, I'll be playing you Scrunchy Scrunchy all the whole time you're gone.
Jeez, fucking asshole. Why would discriminatory? Jesus Christ. They fucking had it because they need. If they didn't have it, they wouldn't have gone to school. You stupid fuck.
Who said that? Somebody said that to you?
Quora, they're asking a question. I just read Quora.
Yeah, I know. Quora and Discord will drive you crazy, man.
I mean, it started out that way. I mean,
started out they couldn't go to school at all.
I
so,
know.
Gee whiz.
Thank God
So
for
if
Tuskegee.
if I make me a school, you usually need to sit down and shut up.
And they don't ban whites from going, do they?
No. There are many whites on to HBCUs.
Still no arrests in connection with the shooting at Aurora's Mill Park. 6 students from Aurora Central High School.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Afternoon, all 6 suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Broncos enter the bye week at 5-5. He wasn't considering a change to Drew Lock. No, Teddy's our quarterback moving forward. That's the latest. I'm Chuck Farm.
Teddy's our quarterback.
Traffic from the DuckDuckGo Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Walgreens.
All right, we got 1 hour to go.
Yep. First.
Said that'll work on my hand. I'm gonna put it right here.
Both because of vehicle fires and off freeway at Highlands Ranch, University closed between Quebec and Crosspoint because of a gas leak, and a crash on northbound Parker Road at Quincy. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, partly to mostly cloudy this afternoon, will drop down into the upper 20s overnight tonight. It's 72 right now in Denver. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Janine LaRose, 630 KHOW. Walgreens is making Medicare easier than ever with the new FindRx coverage tool. Compare plans online, over the phone, or in person for free. Find a plan that's right for you, plus low-cost copays by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
Time to talk about ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan, because they are ideal home loans. No two loans are the same. They will write that loan best for you. In other words, if you want a loan that's 13 years, 23 years, 15 years, 27 years, whatever the term, they'll do it. It's a flexible term loan. They also have a rate guarantee. If you refinance with them and rates go down, even over the next 2 years by 3/4 of a point or more, they will refinance you free of all lender fees. Then they have the pre-approval. That means that you get pre-approved for your loan when you're out looking for houses. And that's like a cash deal. When it comes to buying homes, because you're already approved, you're just waiting for the appraisal, and in all cases, weeks or less. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. They're also on my referral list at referrallist.com. It's your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword bills to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's bills to 200-200. This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now,
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. All right, let's talk. What's going on in your life? We try to solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. We have Jerry who called in about AAA plumbing. She said 53 of clay sewer pipe was replaced for $9,000. Now the driveway patch is rough. She sent us pictures. It's not so much rough. It just looks like new concrete. I mean, it's a patch. Is it different than the previous patch? Yeah. The previous patch obviously aged a bit, as this concrete patch will. Is it worth $2,000? Not in my wildest imagination, Jerry. Now listen, I promise you, I have no allegiance to AAA. I have nothing against them either. But what I'm saying is that I'm looking at this objectively, and it's a patch. It's a patch in concrete. And concrete's never going to look the same. It's going to look, I mean, is this too dark? Yeah, it looks dark right now, but it's a patch. And I don't think it's a driveway, and I think it's going to age a bit, but to tear that out and redo it again is ridiculous. I mean, look, how old is your driveway? Your driveway doesn't look new anyway. It looks aged and faded, and this will age. Now, they did chip around the patch. Look, at the whole thing is a patch. That's what it is. What really should have happened is that whole section should have been redone, but it would have cost you more. So I don't know what you're shooting at. And I don't know when you look at that, does it bother you a lot? I can see where it might. You may want to go and get the whole thing coated, the whole driveway maybe, with a coating or something. Look, could they have done a better job? I don't know how you match concrete. Concrete doesn't really come in colors. I mean, concrete is concrete. You know, they don't dye. I mean, there is a such thing as dyed concrete, but you don't have dyed concrete. You have regular concrete.
Well, she's not complaining about the color, Tom. It's the texture she's upset about.
Oh.
It's real rough, she says, because they hand mix the cement.
Yeah.
Does that change your mind at all, Tom?
Well, I see what she means by rough. That can be ground a bit. It doesn't have to be redone. They can run a grinder on that. In fact, that's what I would do on her whole driveway, is run a grinder and then patch. I would put a coating on it. But, Jerry, I'm trying to find a solution here. I mean, you know, they already, you know, look, I know you feel slighted to begin with. What happened with you is that you had a bad experience from the beginning. And now we're doing what's called catch-up. That's what happens when people have a bad experience. They don't forget the bad experience. And so the bad experience was they quoted 14. That was too much. You said no. They went ahead and started doing it anyway, so you say. And then you said, well, now that it's open, I may as well do it. And they reduced the price to $9. And I can see why that would upset you if that's the way it went down. So that, what I call iniquity, or that injustice, was carried down to the end product. And the end product, you say, is not acceptable. So have you I don't know what you can do about it. I really don't. You can have that ground similar to what you have, and it's not going to cost much at all. What is the light color around the patch? What is that bleaching that looks like? What is that all about? Do you know, Jerry?
That's just how it was left. So I don't know. That's just what I was. It's whatever they did.
You know, I'm sure, contracts when it comes to concrete. Listen, here's what I want to do. I want to call one of our people and ask him. It's not fair because it's 20/20 hindsight, but I still want to ask them what they would do when they have to patch a driveway. What do they do?
They probably got to look at it, though.
No, I want to know in general. What do they do? Do they normally say to the people, do they warn the people, look, the patch is going to be a patch?
Well, we added on to our driveway in a big way, and ours is basically two different colors, but each year it's getting closer to the older.
She's concerned more about the texture than the color. And it's hard to see in the picture, and I think that dust around it might clear up. But how long ago was this picture? How long after the job was this picture taken?
I just took those pictures this morning.
And when was the job completed?
Was a month ago.
But if you look at this picture, look, here's the one I got up. Look all the way over here. Look at all the spalding everywhere. I mean, the driveway. Arguably, the patch is better than the rest of the driveway.
No, I know, but it's different. Look, the saw cut was not the best in the world, but, and she's going to get.
You realize you had them by the cojones up until you approved it for $9,000. When you got home and they just tore your driveway up, you probably could have got them to do an entire driveway.
Also, I want to say something. She's going to get moisture in that saw cut, don't you think?
Probably.
That's going to cause more problems than anything. I don't know why that wasn't sealed. I would have I would have someone look at it, because there's a difference between a saw cut and an expansion joint. You don't want a saw cut goes all the way through, which means moisture will get down there and freeze and will lift. And that's going to be bad. That'll be bad. If that's the way, I'd be more concerned about not having that sealed. But I'm not saying that they did something wrong. There's no way, if they would have replaced the driveway slab, you would have paid for it. You didn't pay for this, is what I'm saying. This is almost like, that's why I want to ask either Fix-It or Plumbline about their sewer when they deal with driveway patching. I just want to ask, in general, questions on how they deal with it.
I'm trying to understand, too, why is it going the length of the driveway? I mean, is it coming all the way up from, like, your garage and then into the street? Is that it? It's the whole line was under the driveway?
Well, but then it stops curiously there. You're not talking about the patch job now. You're just talking about the job in general.
Yeah, why
it does
did
look
they
weird.
do it there?
Well, it does look weird because it doesn't go either way all the way. You would think if it was a sewage line, it would go all the way to the house.
It makes no sense.
Jerry, this is what I don't understand. It was only this section of pipe that was bad they identified, right? That's why they did that section. Is that right?
Yeah, but they did go all the way under the road that connects to the driveway to some gravel road. They connected it to the cleanouts. So
but they did it without breaking the rest of the driveway?
Yeah. That was the only part of the driveway that they needed to dig up.
Why, though? I'm wondering why. Did they tunnel under some of the driveway?
No.
Well, they had to have because this
but
slit. Listen, this ditch, for lack of a better word, this ditch that they covered, does not go to either end of your driveway.
Yeah, it's just like in the middle of the driveway.
Right.
This 8-foot rectangle.
It's not 8 foot. I mean, I would say that's about 16, 18 feet long.
Yeah.
So, that's about 16 feet long by about a foot, right?
But she said they did 55 feet.
I understand that. That's why I'm trying to ask.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, Jerry, why is there a rectangle in the middle of your driveway and not all the way through your driveway?
Well, because the plumbing didn't go up any further. It was coming from a right angle from my house that connects to that pipe.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. That's weird. So, but they must have figured out where the clog was, and it was there, in other words.
Yeah,
But what's it matter? Because they replaced 53 feet. They replaced from her house to where?
Did they do all 53 feet?
They did all 53 feet to the clean out. And they came out before my lines were clear. There was no clogs in my line when they came out and started digging up this driveway. You know, I paid for them. They cleaned the lines out, and they found.
Yeah, but you okayed it when you said I'll do it for $9,000.
Yeah, you did okay it. I know you could kick yourself for doing it, but you did. You okayed it.
That's because the clay pipes were exposed, and I was afraid that they would break the clay pipes.
But it still doesn't matter. You did it. You negotiated down to $9,000. That's what we're saying.
What we're saying is we could have contacted them, and when they had no authority to do what they did, and you would have had so much of a stronger argument. You would have had a much stronger argument had we contacted them before you agreed to it. Look, I don't know what to say on this one. I'd like to ask our drain experts what they think, but other than that, there's not much we can do. 303-713-TALK is our number, 713-8255. People, this is where we have problems if we can get in a little sooner. If you call us a little sooner, there's so much more to helping the sooner we can get in.
This is Dan Kaplis. My parents always told us.
Fucking crazy. What? Oh, the driveway deal.
So,
I'm trying to think. I get home and my driveway is torn up like there, and they acknowledge there's no contract signed. I say you're putting in a new fucking driveway. I'd be saying, woohoo, new driveway.
From the
exactly
to the whole thing is mine.
How do you accidentally? Like I said, it happened to us. It happened to us, but it was an 18-year-old kid.
Don't get ripped off by a restoration company. Unfortunately, you probably will if you don't call American Restoration. Man, that's a bold statement. But it's a true one about 9 times out of 10. You just look up restoration on the internet, and you're going to get a rip-off company, someone to lie and cheat you, or a sophisticated carpet cleaner who puts up a shingle saying, hey, yeah, we do disaster restoration because they suck water out of a carpet. That's not disaster restoration. Disaster restoration is American restoration. And I'm telling you why, because they know what the hell they're doing with all the certifications for fire, flood, mold, crime, unattended death, meth labs, whatever you need, asbestos, contamination. They have the certifications you need because they are the professionals with more than 25 years experience. Give them a call. Tell them Tom told you to call, and you'll get people that know what the heck they're doing. So, safe removal and remediation of mold or toxic substances, remediation of flood in just a few hours. They can remove, sanitize, and professionally rebuild if you want. 8337-AM-REST. 8337-AM-REST. Or online, amrest247.com.
Great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job.
Well, that's one thing I thought the bill, if I had to give a bunch of money out, I always thought the child tax credit was okay. But that's weird. Out of all the bullshit in that new bill, they dropped the child tax credit. I find that fucking amazing.
No, they dropped the Social Security requirement.
Oh, shit!
Meaning,
anybody could get it.
That's right.
How do you even do a fucking tax return without the... How do you even do that?
Look.
Holy shit! I just thought something was like... Oh, my God.
You know, the world is fucking going.
All you got to do is live in Canada and we'll give you a fucking tax credit according to that. It doesn't even say, we don't care where you live, we'll send you fucking money. Hey! God, that's amazing.
Call now and let us entice you with 15% holiday savings. 800-362-8370. Radio advertising.
So Jersey had a deal back in the 80s. The state would give you a certain amount for every kid you had if you fell under the poverty line. So these women were going out and having like 8 fucking kids.
Well, that was not an old. That used to be very common.
Well, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, so much more for each kid.
$8,000 a month because you got 8 kids.
Yeah, and they all running around in the backyard playing baby.
And then they have kids, and that's a little more money.
Yeah, my goodness.
His home sold on the market for $33,000 above his cash offer. Had he gone to a home buying company, he would have missed out on that extra money. But with Orchard, he got more.
I wonder if Frank got his results.
His story isn't unique.
Oh, I'll ask him.
9 out of 100 Orchard customers sell on market for more than their cash offer. Getting started is easy.
I hope they get that. I'll be curious if they get that deal.
Takes just a couple minutes and lets you skip home listing hassles. If you're thinking about selling or just curious what Orchard would pay for your home, get a no-cost, no-obligation offer at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Looking for help with Medicare? Take advantage of one-on-one support from United Healthcare at select Walgreens locations in Denver.
Let's see here.
Current United Healthcare Medicare members can get help with plans, billing questions, and more Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you're new to Medicare or looking to switch plans, talk to a licensed sales agent Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a great way to learn about Medicare plans in the Denver area. Take advantage of one-on-one.
Do the tests they have now, are they, I haven't had a fucking COVID test in so long. Are they instantaneous?
They do have those.
I mean, like if
the
you
rapid test or something.
Never had a test.
What are they? How do they do it? Oh, you never had one? Shit, I had a bunch, man. They shove a fucking thing way up your nose.
Yeah, right.
But we get the results either later that day or the next day. So that's not really instant.
No, but they are instant ones. My son had it last week.
It was instant? Like while you're waiting?
Well, the test?
Yeah, but there's false positives on it.
Is it blood or what is it? Nasal?
I have to ask.
So the strep ones we have that I bought on Amazon just when the kids were little, you basically get saliva, then you dip it in there, and it's fucking strep or not. You would think they'd be able to do that with COVID. Although with strep, all the cultures are right here.
COVID is dangerous.
Oh, well, okay, then you put it up there and dip it into the liquid and it turns color.
I don't know if it's wrapped.
Hi, Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show, here to help you solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. I want to go over what we've learned so far, and then here's what I want to tell you. If you have a question, a complaint, a problem, give us a call. Now, and it's 303-713-TALK. Have we been able to get our drain experts on to talk about patching?
I got a message into him.
All right, thanks. So Jerry had a problem, and she was calling about her driveway. Now, I just want to bring this up. First and foremost, if you have a problem, don't go ahead and say, well, you may as well do it. You started it. If you find yourself in a pickle like that, call us immediately. She said they started tearing up her driveway. She hadn't approved the work and then said, well, as long as you tore it up, I'm afraid you might damage it now, so we may as well replace it. And they negotiated the price from $14 down to $9. Still, not a great deal if, in fact, you didn't get what you want. She's now upset with the driveway patch. So what you really need to do is don't accept, there's a feeling you get, it's just not right. Don't accept it. Call us immediately. 303-MARTINO. Leave a message. Put your name down there. Put your number down there. We'll get back to you. 303-627-8466. Now, what about a guy, listen to this, he puts a deposit down to build a house. The builder is unable to finish the house because he can't get a building permit and he can't get a water permit to tap in, a water tap. He says, sorry, Charlie, you have to pay the deposit. It's non-refundable. Well, that's ridiculous. Non-refundable means that you're not going to pull out willy-nilly. But if the builder can't finish it, that doesn't mean it's non-refundable. There's no such thing. You should get your $37.50 back. By the way, he didn't mention the home builder at that time, but be warned, if you have deposits that are non-refundable, you have to be really careful.
Was it his
And
lot?
I would make him with a credit card. What?
Was it his lot or the builder was supplying the lot?
He said the builder was supplying everything. And he put a deposit down, and now they can't finish the house.
I think if you're doing a custom home, honestly, you should go with a building loan through a bank where the bank's going to send someone out every single stage to make sure they're doing stuff right before they release some money.
Right, and that's a real building. That's a real custom build. A lot of people call it custom build when they go to a builder. The builder has a lot. The builder gives you the lot, and then the builder has a plan, and the builder starts building according to that plan. That's a modified spec home.
Yeah, or they give you 5 different to choose from.
Or it's a modified custom where, you know, it's basically you get to customize some of it. Also, this is really important. We're getting some bad reports about solar, One Solar. Now, One Solar did a terrible job for David in Pueblo West. He says they put up the system, but they violated a lot of codes. They can't pass inspection. Did we ever call One Solar? Who called
Marty has actually been on the phone with the caller now for the last 20 minutes,
Wow,
getting the story,
good.
going to help him.
Excellent. So let me put that down. Deputy Smarty Pants called on this one. Okay. And let's see. All right. Now, then we had Nancy who bought a TV with a Walmart extended warranty. She was referred to A1 Factory Service. Did you call A1 Factory? Did anyone call for her?
Yeah,
she hasn't called us back yet, or did she?
Nancy's been sending me texts.
She has been sending you texts.
Yes.
Did you call the A1 Factory Service?
I will as soon as we're done with the show.
Good. Okay, so A1 Factory Service took her TV in May. They have not communicated with the warranty company. We simply want them to tell the warranty company it can't be repaired. And if that's the case, then guess what happens? She gets a new TV.
Suzanne and I are bringing a TV out to her tomorrow.
Good. All right. Now, Travis had a Home Depot problem, and here's something you have to make clear before you leave. When you buy something from Home Depot that you're installing and it doesn't work, does the warranty get invoked, Or can you take it back to Home Depot or Lowe's or somewhere else? Make that clarification before you leave the store, before you buy it. And put it down there. 30 days to return or whatever. Because this guy installed a double oven, and all of a sudden, he can't take it back. They say it's a warranty issue. And it never worked right, ever. So that's what we really have to make sure of. We have to make sure that when it comes to buying something at a big box, the big box will take responsibility to take it back if it never works. Now, this is not if you have it for a few weeks and it stops working or a few months, but if it never works to begin with, you must have that ability to take it back to where you bought it. Because otherwise, it's a major hassle. Right now, basically, warranty service sucks. It really does. It sucks. And I don't know how other people are finding it, but that's one of our biggest complaints. People who buy extended warranties, they feel safe except when they have to use it. You know, they say, oh, you know, this is covered for another 3 years. But by who? Not by you. You send somebody like A1 Factory Service, or you send somebody like this this other TV place, and guess what? They don't get back to us.
You know, that's why I love Costco with appliances. First of all, they add a year on to the manufacturer's warranty. Second of all, if you don't like it for virtually any reason, in fact any reason, within 90 days, they'll come grab it, bring it back, and get a full refund.
303-713-TALK. Okay, now, what about Blue Ribbon Home Warranty? We've had a lot of complaints about them over the years because they always look for a reason to get out of warranties, and they don't even tell you what they cover until after something breaks. Then they tell you if it's covered. But in this case, we can't blame them. They did replace a water heater. But the water heater was replaced, and when the people came out to do the water heater, they claimed this guy had an additional 3-year warranty, or excuse me, an additional 4-year warranty on top of the factory warranty. So now, 10 years into it, he has a breakdown, or 8 years into it, and he can't get that warranty work because he never got a copy of it. Never got a number, never got anything. If you're buying something and someone is claiming you have something other than what's in writing, like it came with a 6-year warranty and they say, oh, by the way, you have an extra 4 years, get it in writing somewhere, get a number, verify it, get a copy of the warranty. Just somebody telling you that and you vaguely remember it doesn't make it so. You can't prove it when you need it. All right. Also, we've learned a lot about renter's insurance. When a landlord requires renter insurance, and they even take it out of your rent, it's because they want you to be insured for liability. In case you flood something, burn something, hurt something, the landlord is covered by your rental policy for liability. It does not necessarily cover your own personal belongings. Nick thought he had renter's insurance. He tried to collect after 2 burglaries and found out he doesn't have renter's insurance for his own personal property. His renter's insurance only covers the landlord, and he thought that was a crappy deal. Well, tough. It's exactly what he bought. Again, he didn't get a copy of the policy and look at it. He said, oh, he did, but now they're hiding it from him. They never hid it from him. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Suze, if Bob's going to come right on, I'll take him real quick. Otherwise, I have to take a break. Is he going to come on quick? Okay, let me just take him. Bob Logan is with Plumbline Services. They do plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and they have their own drain division. You know, Bob, from time to time we get calls from people who have drains done. Not by you guys, but, you know, just from here, from various people. One woman had a drain done, and they had to go through her driveway. They didn't tunnel under it. They did a ditch, basically, in her driveway. And the patch did not match. With the concrete. what do you guys do? What I want to do is, in general, what do you do with a driveway? It's impossible, isn't it, to get it to match perfectly, especially if the driveway's been down there 10 years?
It is. You're never going to get the concrete to match exactly the way it was before, and you'll always notice a patch. So, if possible, what we like to do is do a burst underneath the driveway, so you don't have to tear up the concrete. And sometimes that's possible, sometimes it's not. But that's an ideal situation.
Right. That's ideal. You guys have what's called a pipe burst, or you have something else where it's not. Is it a burst? What is the one that actually just bullets through almost? Is that a burst too, or is that? Am I thinking of something else?
Yeah, that's the pipe burst that you're thinking of. Now there are molds that we use for water line, so.
Okay.
But as far as the sewer line goes, yeah, we would.
Okay. Now, Bob, if you can't do a pipe burst, and you must do a ditch in the drive, you must tear up or a section of the driveway. Do you guys have a disclaimer or something? You warn people about what it's going to look like?
We do. Anytime you're doing a major project like this, we do our best to set the expectations. And, even if we're doing a spot repair in the yard, we're bringing in big equipment. We're going to try to level it off, do everything we can, but it's not going to look exactly the same. Now, the good thing about a yard is the grass is going to grow back eventually, but with a driveway, you're never going to get it to match. So, yes, we set the expectations. We do have the client sign a disclaimer so that they have an understanding and there's no surprises after the fact. And, and some clients choose just to tear the entire driveway up so everything matches. Unfortunately, that costs a lot of money, and so, but you're never going to get the concrete to match perfectly.
All right, that's what I thought. And this is a reputable company, Plumline Services, so I don't think they really did anything intentionally. Not Plumline. I'm talking about this other company. It's impossible to get that patch to look perfect. By the way, Plumline, PlumlineServices.com, been with me for years, and they do have technology where they don't have to cut that driveway. They can go underneath it. 303-586-1086 is Plumline Service.
This is Denver's talk station with Tom Martino.
Mark, I texted my son about that rapid test. Hopefully he'll get back to me before the end of the show.
I don't think the rapid test works.
No, that's outside because the next day we have to go in like the regular full-blown test.
Is it a real one or is it the original one?
No, this is in the dang
mega
church. Mega church?
Oh my God, they're doing that in church. They ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Actually, though, if somebody reports that pastor, he might lose his church.
Why?
You can't be political.
Well, you're not supposed to be.
Oh my God, they were campaigning in black churches in Virginia.
Exactly, and one of those goddamn preachers lost his church behind that.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Thank goodness. That's a whole different thing there, though.
You don't vote for me.
First
you
of all,
black.
that's not political. Who's Brandon, bro?
I know, I get it. I get it. But, if they were saying fuck Joe Biden, then I guess it would be.
Hold on, guys. To claim your next great hire, visit Indeed.com/.
Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, will do free market valuations of your home to see what it will sell for on the open market. People may wonder, why do I need that done? I don't want to list. Even if you don't want to list, what if you want to fix it up? You don't want to overbuild the neighborhood. You want to make sure you have a good investment. That's what you do. Frank Duran would love to tell you what your house is worth on this market. Whether you're looking to list or not, it's free of charge. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
Maybe you have a loved one who forgets routine tasks more than usual, like letting the dog out, or struggles with chores.
Let's go, Brandon. They're doing that in church.
Mega church.
Yeah.
We're not talking, 8 pews in a 4-person choir. We're talking Pat, what's his name? Pat Robertson?
Pat Robertson never had a church, ever.
He just had the ministry?
Yeah, on TV.
What's the difference?
We didn't have a church.
You didn't have a church.
It's a television church.
He had your house.
And no, it wasn't a church on television either. There were no services. It was a 700 Club.
I started watching the show about that whole thing, the movie. I haven't finished
About
it yet.
Pat Robinson?
Got too boring.
About the 700 Club?
Yeah. Who's the guy that who's the guy that got him started? Another preacher.
No, Pat Robinson is pretty much an original.
Who did he get started then?
I don't know.
They did puppet shows, him and his wife.
No, Tammy and Jim Baker had nothing to do with him.
So they didn't learn under him?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they did.
I don't think they did, but
Who did?
you know, Pat Robertson, God Almighty, he just retired at 96, I think, or whatever the hell he was. Anyway, Pat Robertson got together with 700 or 699 of his buddies, who all chipped in a certain amount of money for the 700 Club.
700.
She initially gained notice for her work
I think
with the
that's what it was,
PTL
or
club.
was it $700 each? I thought it was 700 people. I don't know.
PTL, yeah, appraisal.
Who's PTL? Who was the head of that?
Totally separate.
I don't know.
No, but who was the head, do you know?
I thought that was Baker, but I don't know. And then there's Trinity. There's CBN, Trinity, PTL, CBN. But CBN is the biggest mother. That's Roberts.
Well, Oral Roberts was huge at one point.
Yeah, but he didn't have a network, I don't think, did he?
Like he had a hospital.
And a college.
And a
Still has
college.
a college.
Religion.
There it is, PTL Club. No, PTL was them. Hold on.
Was who?
Yeah. So who did they learn under? I just watched this movie, man. I don't remember. It was so fucking boring. Pat Robertson.
Was it
CBN. Yeah, so they worked for CBN.
And then they left.
Well, because they got so good, they were starting to recognize that they were the whole fucking show. And in the movie is funny because it's even worse than that. They're living like in a little 2-bedroom kind of apartment, or I don't want to say squalor, and then he's living in this mega mansion. But yet all the ratings on the TV are going to them, so they finally get their shit together and start their own shit.
I guess that would be motivation.
But they did puppets, or she did. She did puppets on it. It was called the. I'm reading it on.
Why did he go to jail?
Who?
Jim.
Then Jim Baker in '66 became the host of the 700 Club. And then so they get into it. It's real funny. So they're in so much trouble debt-wise because of all the property and how they're trying to grow this thing so fast, the Bakers. They would literally go on and tell people, it's going to come crashing down. The Lord's going to do this to us. And just like that, they get the donations coming in. I mean, it's a damnedest thing. I don't know how true the documentary is, but fuck, man. They would simply go on there and say, we got to have the money or else we're not going to be able to talk to you each week, and God's going to get angry and blah, 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 blah.
Didn't Oral Roberts say God was going to strike him dead if he didn't raise enough money?
Twice that I know of.
Or was that Jerry?
No, it was Oral. I lived in Oklahoma.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Throughout the years, I've kept notes on the show on things that have hurt people, and so I can remind people what not to do. And it's amazing how many things keep recurring. But the one thing we were talking about with renter's insurance, and this is really important, if a landlord requires renter insurance, it's because the landlord wants to be protected. In other words, any tenant in any apartment building could ruin the entire apartment building by flooding, smoking in bed, a fire, or some kind of crime. And if that happens, you want them to have insurance you can go against. That's why you require insurance as a landlord. Yes, you can require that as part of your rental agreement. You can. You can even charge for it and buy it for them if you disclose it. But here's the thing. If you're a tenant and your landlord is imposing this insurance, keep that in mind. It's not for you, it's for him. They'll make themselves the beneficiary as well for anything that goes bad. So if you hurt another tenant, another unit, or whatever, the landlord can collect. But here's the other deal. That's renter's insurance, right? You can buy your own renter's insurance that could have your own contents covered, but don't depend on a landlord to buy that for you. The same goes with forced insurance with a lender on a car. We had a case one time where a guy was financing a car and he let his insurance lapse. Do you remember what happened, Mark? The lender put forced insurance on the car. And the guy thought, this is a deal because that insurance is cheaper than I was paying, so I may as well just pay the lender's forced insurance. And then, well, all will be well, except guess what happened? An accident. And the guy had liability in the accident. He was at fault. When the other party sought damages, guess what? The car was covered by the lender who had forced insurance on the car, but the liability of the motorist driving that car was all his because the forced insurance was not liability. The forced insurance was only for the car because the car was securing the loan. So the lender naturally wants to be protected. So they make you carry insurance for that reason. And if your insurance lapses, that's the only insurance they buy is property damage for that car.
So that guy sent, the renter's guy you were originally talking about, he sent us another email today with another picture.
Of what?
The exact, well, not the exact thing. Something else just showing that he pays $12 a month for insurance, but it's all liability. I don't understand why we couldn't get through his head.
Because he won't listen. The $12 a month he was paying was for renter's insurance for his liability on that property, which protects the landlord.
And on the newest thing, they actually showed a breakdown, like of how many units and how much per unit. And it came out to $12 for the entire policy.
Now, here's the other thing. Okay, that's renter's insurance. He thought, well, then they should cover me for my damages if I lost stuff in a burglary. But that's not the kind of insurance you have. And he insists that is the kind of insurance he has. So unless you have a policy, you don't have it. And speaking of any kind of insurance, if you buy insurance through a company like a mover or a lender or a landlord, get proof of coverage. Get proof of coverage. Because if you don't, there's nothing to say that you have coverage.
You know, the worst deal with insurance that I can think about is people go to move, from here to California or from here to anywhere. And the mover tells them, oh, yeah, insurance, we have insurance.
Right.
You're covered. It's part of it. What they don't realize is what?
60 cents a pound.
60 cents a pound. So if you got a painting worth $10,000, they'll hand you $4.80.
No, the 60 cents a pound is really like having no insurance.
No, it's like leaving a waitress a 25-cent tip.
So be careful. I'm Tom Martino. More coming.
Mark.
Yes, sir.
My son said that for the rapid test, they did it through the nose, so I don't know what the difference.
So that must be it. They put it up there, and now they have a liquid they dump it in, and it changes just like a
I guess,
test.
yeah.
It's got to be that way.
It's not accurate. No, it's not that accurate. So the next day, you have to go out and do the regular, the real one.
The real one, the first 2 times
So what
I had
happened
it,
to the
man,
rapid? What did it
I did
show?
not like it.
So was it like a freaking?
It showed he was negative.
And then the other one showed he was positive.
Maybe is right.
Then
It
the other
looks
one
like
said
a
he was
Q-tip,
negative
like
as
this
well.
big.
There's so many
And
false
that fucker
positives
disappears
On
that
which
far
one?
up your nose.
on the rapid
It
test.
goes
There
way
is?
up there.
Yeah, that's what he
And
told
it's not,
me.
it's not like it hurts, it's
Positive
just
or
so
positive?
uncomfortable.
I watched them do Belinda, but I never got done.
You were
Incorrect
watched
results.
Belinda get it.
Yeah,
so
I don't
fuck
know.
that.
Yeah. No, I just I had to take her, and we did
I
one
never
of
saw
those
it do it.
we did one of those drive ups.
That's what we did. Kaiser had them just pull up and boom, boom. But then they called us the next day. Or 2 days back then, whatever it was.
Let's talk about FixMyHome.com, fix it 24/7. I've been touting this because it's still not frigidly cold. It's not freezing. It's a great time to have your furnace cleaned and checked with the all-inclusive clean and check from Fix It 24/7 for just $39. It's an incredible clean. They take the system apart to the extent they can, including the blower motor and the fins individually cleaned. They use a degreaser to get through everything and to then make minor adjustments. It will give a no breakdown guarantee to your system. And if they find a problem, at least you have time to breathe. You don't have to rush. You don't have to feel pressured. FixMyHome.com. Fix it 24/7. Just $39. 720-526-3939. Do it before you're freezing. And then it happens. 720-526-3939. Hey, if you have questions about estate planning, like do I need an asset protection trust? Many people do with just $500,000 of assets or more to prevent lawsuits, to make yourself an unattractive target. Sometimes that alone discourages lawsuits. Or maybe you need a regular trust where you can control how your heirs get the money, and then they are protected through their whole life. It continues on. Or you may need a simple will. Whatever it is, ask Blake free of charge. He only charges for what he actually does for you, but you can ask all the questions you need at 833-ASK-BLAKE. 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Sometimes, love can be deadly. The Crazy in Love podcast digs into real-life stories of relationships that took a gruesome turn. Each week, explore a new case about murder in the name of love.
She was obsessed. She was a...
Do you think they want us involved?
Do you think they want us involved? And I mean a real military. Like, we send troops there and there's bombs flying back and forth. I mean the whole bit.
If we go to war with China, we have a fucking problem.
That's right. I don't think...
If we go to war with China, we have a fucking problem.
I don't think most U.S. people would say we should.
We have a problem. But why are they talking about Taiwan now? Are we...
Well, because China is upping the rhetoric that we're taking Taiwan. That's why.
I think they should go ahead and take it. And I think we should leave them alone.
Well, the problem is that's where a lot of our chips and shit, they just kill us. Right now, we have...
For the chips, I'm with you. Okay.
We have a real reason to protect those people right now. I mean, if we had a president, maybe we'd start making chips here, but he thinks they're potato chips.
Just elect Brandon.
No, he thinks they're potato chips.
Mark, you know,
He's
Tom,
like, we got plenty of chips. I'm eating some right now.
Mark, you know, Tom said something about smoking in bed, and I said to
Smoking
Shannon,
in bed?
yeah, like if you
Yeah.
catch a fire, and I said to Shannon, I remember the days of smoking in bed. Shannon goes, you know who's smoking in bed, and then shows me your video.
I was smoking. I am smoking.
I was.
I was sure that guy was going to say he was banging his
Well, he
old
pretty
lady.
much did.
I was visiting my wife.
Back in the day, I was a partier.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made it.
We were doing a few lines of coke.
Hey man, is Genesis phasing out gas cars?
Who?
Genesis.
Is Genesis what?
Phasing out gas cars by 2030.
Who the fuck is Genesis?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, Genesis Hyundai phasing out gasoline cars?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. They're a North Korean company. Or North Korean. I'd love to see a North Korean built car. That's got to be quite the deal. You missed it yesterday. Doc was talking about an article truly in their paper. Remember, their paper is owned by their government, North Korea.
Yeah.
The first time Kim Jong-un went golfing, he played 18 holes and had 11 hole-in-ones. Literally, that was the whole article.
11 holes in one.
Yeah.
11 hole-in-ones. 11 holes in one.
11 hole.
11
hole in one.
No, 11 hole-in-ones.
No, it's 11
hole
in one.
Yes, 11 hole-in-ones.
11 holes in one.
No.
No, it's 11 hole-in-ones.
Why you did 11 holes in one?
Just look it up. The proper way to say it. Look it up.
11
Look it up.
holes.
My laptop's
Look it up.
in here. My laptop's in here. 11 hole-in-ones. I hit 11 hole-in-ones. You're so wrong on this one. It's like when he goes, okay, listen to this, Talib. If he said, hey, Mark, or hey, Talib, what are you doing next Saturday? Is that the Saturday coming up, or is it a week from Saturday?
Look at Google right here. Top 5 holes in one. 10 holes in one.
No, I had 11 hole-in-ones.
No, that's not the way you say it. Okay, that's not the way you say it. I'm sorry. You'll never see it expressed that way. There have been 5 holes in one on par 5s. That's the only way you'll ever see it about holes in one.
Wait. I just saw it.
Never. You'll never see it.
Wait, you keep scroll.
Mark, you're not going to see it because it's grammatically incorrect.
Hole-in-ones. Right
No.
here. Holes in one or hole-in-ones.
Okay, and it tells you. Holes,
Let's
listen,
see.
it says right here, I read it. To me, holes in one means the ball went in multiple holes in one shot. Whereas the event hello, Tom Martino here,
303-713-TALK. Listen, off the air, I'm sorry for this conversation we were having. I'm trying to give Mark a lesson. Okay, here it is. You want to hear it? Here it is. We got a few minutes. The guy in North Korea, he holds himself out. What's his name?
Kim Jong-un.
He holds himself out as a god. So he goes golfing one day. First time ever golfing, he supposedly got a hole-in-one 11 times, right?
11 hole-in-ones.
Well, Mark said he got 11 hole-in-ones.
11 hole-in-ones.
Okay. The proper expression is 11 holes in one. That's what he got,
How
11
can he
holes.
do 11 holes in one.
Because that's the proper expression.
Okay.
Just
I
like,
forgot, Mr.
okay,
Diction.
give me 5, is it 5 attorney generals?
Okay.
Is it 5 attorneys general? What is it, Mark? 5 attorney generals or 5 attorneys general?
Attorney generals.
No, it's 5 attorneys general because the general describes all. And it's just like a hole in one. In one describes the holes.
The expert's coming on.
Okay, you guys, don't argue with grammar.
I'm about to read this.
Go ahead. Go on. Talib.
I'm about to read this right
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says right here, no matter where you look, which is correct, holes in one or hole-in-ones. It is holes in one. Holes in one. If you have more than one, it's holes in one. You get 5 holes in one. That doesn't mean you went, I know what you mean, Mark. It sounds like you did 5 holes in one stroke.
That's
but
right.
if you do 5 hole-in-ones.
Now, this is just an opinion.
Okay.
So it was an opinion. I'm
but
sure
look,
that was correct.
Look it up under grammar, which is proper.
Hole-in-ones.
Well, just like he said, 5 attorney generals. It's not 5 attorneys generals.
To bust your,
I made a hole in one.
Yes, is it 5 districts attorney or 5 district attorneys?
Well, that's
what? That's right. Okay, but there's a difference on how.
That even sounds right, though. I had 10 holes in one.
It is 10 holes in one.
I know, it doesn't sound right.
I got 10 holes in one stroke. What you're really saying is 10 holes in one each. That's what you're saying. But
because 10 holes.
I know. You didn't get 10 holes.
We need to ask an actual golfer.
But I'm looking it up all over. I'm looking it up everywhere in Google.
Doc would know.
Everywhere in Google, it's expressed as holes in one.
And he golfs every
People, why don't you give us your vote? Vote, please. Help at troubleshooter.com. Put in your vote. Okay?
Show Tom how wrong.
Tomorrow we'll revisit this.
Give it to him.
Just do it. I'm Tom Martino, and don't forget, referralist.com and 303consumer.com for the latest magazine.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW. KHOW.com. And on the